Here in Miami, the beautiful intercoastals that take you from Miami to Miami Beach, one of the great skylines, no doubt about it. This is the busy season, October, November, December. A lot of the snowbirds avoiding the cold, and nowhere is it hotter inside the howler. I'm not saying the tourists are going to fight, but they can take it in. You can watch it from wherever you are. We know it's getting chilly in many places. Actually, a little chilly in Miami this weekend, in the 60s, which is reason for alarm. People freak out. It's cold. There is La Jaula. Oh, she's looking clean for now. Well into the month of October, spawning some memories and some bad voodoo. And we're gonna get our first fight underway. And a very exciting young prospect we'll tell you here shortly. But there's the main card, highlighted by the main event, Ramon Vizcarra, Victor Cisneros fighting in the 135-pound category. Diana Sanchez, Elizabeth Mogoyan, that's USA Mexico, as is Shaheen Santana, Alejandro Martinez. Combate is all about wearing your colors, showing your national pride. We have two big fights, USA Mexico, the biggest rivalry in Combate. Max Pretos, Rodolfo Roman, here to take you through all the action, which begins right now. We're ready to take you there. Mauricio Rios, 2-0. He will fight a guy he knows pretty well, Gerardo Quintana. Two Mexico City-based fighters will meet in La Jaula. Let's go to La Voz. You know him, you love him. Lupe Contreras, take it away, my friend.
Entrando a La Jaula, Mauricio Rios.
Mauricio Rios, 2-0, and both victories in Combate. Last we saw him in July, a unanimous decision over Luis Cifuentes. This is a guy highly regarded coming out of Mexico City, which, if you've joined us here on Combate Global, continues to be a huge conveyor belt of talent. Trains with the Bone Breakers. A lot of bone breaker fighters, widely regarded as the best gym in Mexico. Is that fair, or certainly up there?
No doubt, no doubt. They're part of the top. We see them in Bigs Plus, several of those competition. But this guy has great jiu-jitsu, great wrestling. Sure, we'll see a lot of it here tonight inside La Jaula against his opponent.
Su oponente, Gerardo Quintana.
Gerardo Quintana making his professional debut. He has wrapped up his amateur fights in March. And now a guy he's taken a scene of. You know, in the Mexico City fight scene, you're not going to be too far away from guys. Just 23, has popped in there in that Bone Breaker gym. And still a real baby in his development. Took this fight on shortest of notice.
That's a game fighter for you. He'll take at any time, any place. Great crisp boxing. Last time, as he mentioned, it was an amateur bout that he took back in March. And he was part, actually, of the World MMA tournament in the martial and amateur levels, which he was able to compete with many competitors from all over the world. So looking forward to the debut of this young man inside La Jaula for the very first time. Let's see those butterflies coming the way, though.
Yeah, and in MMA, as we said, you know, so many fights get possibly postponed. Quintana stepped in big time, and we take our hat off. These are young fighters, both 23. Big height advantage for Quintana, although the reach goes to Rios. This will be at a catch weight. It was at 155. We'll call it 160. We're ready for our first fight. Let's go back to Lupe Contreras, center stage in La Jaula.
Este duelo, 3 vueltas, división peso ligero. This bout 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green, Mark Streisand y Dorian Mirasola. Presentando a la esquina azul, vestido de verde con blanco, presenting the blue corner. Wearing green with white, su peso oficial. 158 libras y media, his official weight. 158.5 pounds. Esta noche, entra a La Jaula buscando mantener su récord invicto de 2 victorias. Tonight, he enters La Jaula looking to remain undefeated with a record of 2 victories. De la capital azteca, la Ciudad de México, Mauricio Rios. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestido de rojo, his opponent in the red corner, wearing red. detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 153 libras y 3 cuartos. He tipped the scales at an official 153 3/4 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula por primera vez en su debut profesional. Tonight, he enters la jaula for the first time in his professional debut. De la Ciudad de México, DF, Gerardo Peter Parker Quintana. El referee, Larry Folsom.
Larry Folsom, the third inside la jaula.
Is it time? Time?
Oh, it's time. Still waiting for the fighters to make their way again. You almost could say hours before Gerardo Quintana. What a great nickname, Peter Parker.
Any questions from you?
Big Spider-Man.
Now, let's come out fighting.
And I mean, there it is. I mean, we'll see if there is some truth to that nickname. Again, we're seeing Quintana for the first time. Great opportunity to make your professional debut here.
This is your shot. And we've seen many competitors take those fights, and they come in and they shine. But like I said, Rios has that good ground game. And the last time we saw him inside La Jaula, he nearly got submission. The fight didn't go the distance. He ended up taking up the win. But in that first one that he had here, he defeated his opponent by way of submission. As for Gerardo, it's the first time we see him here. Good crisp boxing. Look for him to box away and then maybe even try to attempt some of the ground game. But Rios is going to go straight down to the floor where he feels very comfortable, Max.
It is Rios in the green and white, and he sits down. Quintana now takes his back. Quintana not quite ready for this. It's an uphill battle. A lot of time guys don't jump in and take these fights, and fights get postponed, fights get canceled. This one moves forward, and now Rios with a great opportunity. He's a heavy favorite here as he gets side control.
Especially if you're a young fighter though, Max, it's important to be fight ready and shape because you never know when you're gonna get that phone call. So it's just a matter of time to just say, hey, let's go, and attempt to hear a heel hook there for Rios.
And that's how he got that victory in his first pro fight against Martin Justiz. How do you combat the heel hook?
Well, as for Gerardo, what he needs to do is get that leg out as soon as a way. He could use that foot to push himself off. He's trying to there's a lot of scrambling going on here, but he needs to push himself off. He's in a dangerous position because he does have the Jaula behind
spinning
him.
Away.
He is spinning around. It's a good way of getting it out. But see, he needs to be very careful here. He could be in
he's
deep
got it
waters.
In deep. Able to get the foot out.
Now he's able to push out right there by rolling around.
He tapped him. Straightened out that left knee, and there was the tap. Quintana went back and forth, doing his best to avoid the pressure. But Rios just too good. And with that, he improves to 3-0. Tepid celebrations. He knows he had an outclassed opponent taking this fight on short notice, but still did his thing.
He had the heel locked in very tight. And then too, what's important is it was very early on in the fight. So there wasn't any sweat that was making it hard for that grip. He had it very tight right from the start. We take a look at that replay right here. Grabbing that leg. See how he has that figure 4 lock on that right leg. Making sure he has it covered. And Gerardo just couldn't get out. He got caught in. As we see that ref cam angle here, beautifully executed. Rios just knew that he had this fight won right from the start. They know each other very well, so much respect on both of their ends.
Rios will take it, his second submission victory, both by heel hook, both in the first round. And for Quintana, he did good for Combate Global. I'm sure they'll make him whole. That's what this company does. We'll get the official decision as Rios, a 3-0 record, certainly carries a lot of water. We'll be back for the official decision, our opening fight in the preliminary card. Victory for Rios. We are back. A unique circumstance for Mauricio Rios, but he will take it. It's always nice to get your arm raised. Let's go inside La Jaula to Lupe Contreras.
Este combate termina con un tiempo oficial de 1 minuto 43 segundos. Del primer episodio. This bout comes to an end with an official time of 1 minute 43 seconds of round number 1. Your winner, by way of submission, el vencedor por sumisión y aún invicto, Mauricio Rios.
Rios gets his arm race, and for Quintana, even though in defeat, you get your professional debut, and you can say you did it.
He did it. It's a victory. It's a win. Is a win. He made sure to work on that jiu-jitsu game where he's very confident. And look at the champ right there in the middle.
Martinez.
Right there, the champ representing. They know each other quite well, both these fighters. So much respect on their end. For Gerardo, I'm sure it's not the last time that we'll see him. We'll see him very soon here inside La Jaula. Mauricio Rios once again stepping in. The third time in La Jaula. With Gerardo coming in, making his debut. There's a lot of butterflies. There's a lot of stuff that goes into mind, Max, and you have to put that aside. He tried to box with him, but Rios, right from the start, went for the ground game where he feels very confident. If you look at his previous fights here, which you can find on demand on Paramount Plus, you would see that this is his bread and butter. First opponent that he defeated in La Jaula was by way of heel hook. He repeats that again, and actually his last opponent with Fuentes, he also attempted to submit him by way of heel hook, but it just didn't happen his way. And now the other multiple submissions he applied, he ended up winning that by decision. But tonight, he takes this one by submission once again. Congrats to this young man.
His emotions did not go anywhere off the rails. He kept them completely contained, and he had a pretty efficient victory and a nice submission victory at that. It was expected results, and now we move forward to what is going to be much more competitive fights. We'll be back here with the number 2 bantamweight here shortly in Combate Global. There is the man from Sao Paulo, Felipe Efrain. He's going to make his Combate debut, but this is a guy who has fought everyone and anywhere. He has a incredible record, but Leo Muñiz is the number 2 bantamweight in Combate. He's on the preliminary card. This is going to be a good one. That is coming your way. The fighters getting ready inside the tunnel, heading to La Jaula shortly. We said it's a big night in the bantamweight. Exhibit A.
Santana.
My name is Shaheen Santana. I'm 31 and I'm from Miami, Florida. My nickname is Shazam because of how I finish fights. The fight's going normal and then all of a sudden, boom, it's over. Shazam. Technically, my fighting style is long and rangy, just sharp shots, and then if you make a mistake, I'm gonna rip your neck off.
Mi nombre es Alejandro, el Pato Martinez, y soy originario de Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco. El Pato pues, es un apodo de barrio, ya sabes que desde chico lo tengo como desde los 15 años. Salí del barrio, pero todavía soy barrio. Mi estilo de pelea agresivo, técnico, completo. Mi pelea, mi oponente, Shaheen Santana, es un tipo largo, cinturón marrón de jiu-jitsu. Ha perdido por decisión, así que se ve que aguanta. Ya peleó contra 2 amigos, perdió contra mis 2 amigos. Así que, pues, va a ser una pelea interesante, la verdad.
He's 13-4 and he's a veteran of the sport. I think he's a gritty competitor and I totally think I'm going to win this fight. I'm just an all-around better fighter. I have the technical skills, I have the strength of a bigger guy, and he's going to see that.
Así como tú un año sin pelear, llevo un año entrenando bien duro, carnal. Así que ojalá vengas preparado por una guerra.
You better be ready because I'm coming hard and I'm coming to rip some necks off, so let's go.
We are back, and we are excited about this one. Felipe Efrain in his 22nd MMA bout. He's won 15 of them. He has 10 knockouts. Just 28 years of age, so a lot of tread off the tires. Leo Muñiz, 8-2, coming out of the Bronx. The Mexicutioner is ready to show why he might be next in line for a title shot against David Martinez. Let's go to Lupe.
Entrando a la jaula, Felipe Efrain.
Efrain, who's had some peaks and valleys in his MMA career, is currently in a peak. This is his first fight for Combate, but back-to-back fights and victories this year. Prior to that, he did not fight until 2019. He had 3 losses before that. Started his career 6-0, so it's been a roller coaster ride, but he wants the consistency. He hopes it starts tonight.
I was looking at some of the tape, and I'm really excited to see this man inside La Jaula. He comes from a very strong camp in Chuto Boxiago Lima, home to the Charles Oliveira. In fact,
arguably the best pound-for-pound guy right now.
155er right now, and in fact, he got a little training right before during this fight camp with Oliveira. So to see this guy,
contrario,
great.
Leodegario Muñiz.
This is Leodegario Muñiz, the man from the Bronx. He has an interesting story to tell. He's always looking for a challenge. Played soccer, then taekwondo, then he got into jiu-jitsu. He trains in Gracie, New Jersey with the likes of Mickey Gall. Has 4 kids. So a lot on his plate, but he still manages to fight frequently as he did, getting a TKO finish in August over Mauricio Cubillo.
And last year he was a participant in Copa Combate, taking on the likes of Kevin Cordero, who was the runner-up of that great tournament last year. And he has shaped up to be looking really good this year. Great combination, aggressive, been working a lot of his striking, been checking out some of his stuff recently, and this should be a very fun fight, guys.
Leo Muñiz, 3 knockouts or TKOs in his 8 victories. We have seen the video on Efrain. He puts his foot on the pedal and he goes for it. Muñiz, 4 years the senior, both at the same height, 5'6", 2.5 reach there by Muñiz. We're in the bantamweight division. Efrain coming slightly over. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. Este duelo, 3 vueltas, división peso gallo. We continue with much more action this bout, 3 rounds. In the bantamweight division, los jueces son, the judges are James Lázaro, Richard Green y Mark Streisand. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestido de amarillo, presenting the blue corner, wearing yellow. Su peso oficial, 141 libras y un cuarto, is official weight, 141 1/4 pounds. Entra en su 22º combate a nivel profesional, con 15 victorias y 6 derrotas. He enters la jaula for the 22nd time as a pro, with 15 victories against 6 losses. Representando a Sao Paulo, Brasil, Felipe Efrain. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestido de rojo con blanco, his opponent in the red corner, wearing red with white, su peso oficial, 135 libras y 3 cuartos, his official weight, 135 3/4 pounds. En 10 combates profesionales, mantiene un récord de 8 victorias y 2 derrotas. In 10 bouts as a professional, he maintains a record of 8 victories against 2 losses. Fighting out of the Bronx, New York, the Mexicutioner, Leodegario Muñiz. El referee, Alana Vélez.
Alana Vélez the third in la jaula.
Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch him up again, go ahead. Come out, fight.
Judge. Nothing gets me excited quite like Lupe Contreras going, y ahora. When he hits those low tones.
That tone, boy. They're looking forward to this fight. This should be a very fun one, so hang on to your seats.
Yeah, might be a quick one.
I don't know about a quick one, but it will be a fast-paced one. Look at it right there. Just exchange right from the start. Oh, man, takes it. Look at that great hand combination by Muñoz.
Oh, body shot.
But Efrain will not hold back. He's going to follow through as well. Look out. He loves to work the body. Look out for those body shots.
Muñiz in the red and white. 3 straight combinations. He got caught coming in by that left hand. Followed up the knee by Efrain. Left sharp hand into the head and then the body. Uppercut. Efrain emptying the chamber here. And he's put Muñiz down.
This may be the end here, Max.
He's still moving. He's still fighting.
He exchanged too much. He needed to move around. Alan Abelez might step in if he doesn't see any sort of uppercut.
Efrain couldn't finish the job, and now Muñiz is firing.
This is MMA mucho más acción.
He had to be a second away, Rodolfo, from that fight stopping. Alan Aviles came in. Oh, uppercut dropped him! Efrain hits him on the button.
Tell you, I looked at this and I was looking at both these fighters' tape and I'm like, this is gonna be a fun one.
Efrain, who's fought a lot of big-name fighters, Franz Mlambo, for past Copa Combate champion, Team Elliott, who fights in UFC. He can finish you upstairs, he can finish you on the ground, but here comes Muñiz. He's still got some pepper in those hands. And short right.
And what's great about this, Max, is that Felipe is pushing the pace and Muñiz is not holding back. He's firing back and forth. Oh,
heavy right hand usage. Multiple right hands. Continues to come in. 3:15 to go.
This is awesome.
An incredible opening round.
2 minutes so far. Fast paced. The question
Not even.
Can they keep up this pace?
Felipe Efrain dropped Muñiz twice. Cracking foot on that lead leg.
That's that Muay Thai that they teach in Chuto Box. Oh, great calf kick. Now he checked it.
Muñiz 4-1 in Combate. That one loss to the #1 ranked bantamweight, and that is Kevin Cordero, the fighter from the Canary Islands. Body shot.
What I'm impressed is Muñiz has taken so much, but he overcame. I mean, at one point we thought that he wasn't going to answer back, but he was able to compose himself.
Neither one of these guys want to slow down this pace. Neither one are taking down the other. They feel comfortable throwing. They feel comfortable taking shots.
And they can each take it no matter what. Great stuff. And you hear the coach of Muñiz move around. And I think that he should have done that earlier on. Listen, it's great to exchange. It's very exciting. But at the same time, if you're in that position and you feel that pace is being put in, it's good to move around a bit.
I mean, a victory here and Felipe Efrain will skyrocket into the top 10. That's what happens when you beat #2. Muñiz is probably wondering how he's in the preliminaries as a #2 fighter. He could be a main event guy.
At one point, Max, remember, he was runner-up to potentially get a title shot against Martinez. He was right there.
Good movement to get that lead leg out of the firing line. Uppercut here by Muñiz. 90 seconds to go in this open round.
And Felipe is the one that's taking control of this fight right now in this opening round. Muñiz needs to move around though, cut those angles, because Felipe is coming right at you. But Muñiz goes right at his face too. What a fight.
The question is, can they keep this pace? Hard to imagine they can. Some point you need to rest a little bit within the rounds, slowing down a little bit, but they're both still huge volume of strikes.
Well, let's see how it opens up in that second round if we get to make it there.
Under a minute.
Love the body shots from both of them. And it seems that that's what's going to take it for them, because they both can take a punch.
Now, Muñiz, a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so he can take it to the ground. You wonder if that will be in his game plan in round 2 if we make it that far. 10 years training MMA. He's got a little cheeky smile on his face.
I don't think that there will be any ground game in this fight, Max. They like the pace that both of them are taking it. And they're going to just counter and follow through.
Efrain still in pursuit. Then they put their heads down and they start throwing again. 20 seconds to go. Unbelievable we've made it this far.
Yeah, Muñiz is striking, just sharp.
Stop there from Alan Aviles.
What happened to mouthpiece?
Mouthpiece.
Wrap.
Let's get some water on the mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece, okay. Still have a few seconds left in that first round. That just, the momentum, because they were going at it, and to slow it down.
The blood is on Efrain. He may have won this round. It's hard to say, but he had an explosive 2 minutes to start. Get that. We reached the end of one of the best rounds we have seen in Combate in recent memory. Surprised that we're on our way to a second round.
No.
The fighters are on stools.
No, I'm not surprised. I knew that this was going to be a back and forth, just gritty fighters with Executioner and Felipe Efrain from Brazil just going toe-to-toe right in the pocket, not afraid to stand and bang just straightforward. You got flying knees and elbows in there being thrown, uppercuts, shots to the body, everything that you can think of. And what's really impressive is the durability of Muñiz. He took the shot and he overcame and lived to see to the second round.
We are back for the second round. Leo Muñiz is still on his stool. Felipe Efrain got cleaned up. Now Muñiz is up, but they took every second they could. Now Alan Abeles more than encouraging the corner of Muñiz to get outside of La Jaula.
What I'm looking at is Muñiz looking at his fingers. Is it a nail maybe that broke? Something happened?
Oh, it's kind of weird.
Cut?
It's pointed in a weird direction. It's over.
Oh, maybe a dislocated finger?
No, it's that ring finger, the ring finger on his left hand. It's just not straight right now.
Man, and that was such a great fight, just that first round, boy.
Yeah, it's just not straight. You can see it's pointing in a weird direction. Muñiz has an incredible threshold for pain, much more than I. You know he's disappointed, but that was the handiwork of the Brazilian. He applied the pressure. He was able to get the W. We'll get the official decision when we return. Unfortunate way for it to end. We don't have to keep looking at that hand either.
Wow.
It's not going the direction it's supposed to.
Boy, and those 5 minutes were so exciting, just back and forth. That was what would have happened in that second or third. Would have kept out the pace. I mean, it was really exciting. But unfortunately, you know, it's a risky business. It's a tough sport. And injuries do happen. Maybe we'll see this fight again.
1-0 in Combate for Felipe Efrain. This is a huge victory for the man from Sao Paulo. We are back. What a moment for Felipe Efrain. We'll tell you a little bit more about his story, but now to the victor, the spoils. To Lupe.
Damas y caballeros, la esquina roja sufre una lesión obligando al referí Alana Vélez a parar la contienda con un tiempo oficial de 4 minutos 59 segundos del primer episodio. Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner suffers an injury obligating referee Alana Vélez to stop this contest with an official time of 4 minutes 59 seconds of round number 1. Your winner, by way of TKO, el vencedor por nocaut técnico, Felipe Efrain.
Back in 2019, he suffered a third straight loss. He walked away from MMA, hit the reset button. He's just won his third straight, and his first in Combate improves to 16-6, and now a new name to remember in the bantamweight division. We'll be back, getting closer to the main card here, live on a Friday. So Felipe Efrain, you know, we talk about the roller coaster ride, and we see these fighters all the time. You're not in the right frame of mind. You step away and you come back a better fighter.
Man, I just wanted more of this. It's unfortunately it came down to an injury because it was so exciting. It was 5 minutes. It was just standing bang right in the pocket. Look for Muñiz. He was trying to land that right hand. He has that knockout power. But Felipe, he was the one that was pushing the pace, working the body, and it was right here, that body shot that took Muñiz right to the floor. At this point, we even questioned, will Muñiz continue? He sure did. He composed himself, and he was just banking on that right hand. Great combination. Unfortunately, it was this injury that stopped the fight.
We are going to get back inside the jaula with a women's bout. Yessica Ortega taking on Begley. After all the hullabaloo of the stoppage for Leo Muñiz, and by the way, the doctor looked at the finger and stopped that fight immediately. So here comes Yessica Ortega fighting there, can go into the higher ranks, taking on Begley. Another fighter that has come from Ireland, 27 years of age, comes into this fight 2-1, pardon me. Was victorious about Chantel Coates back in June of this year. Head-to-head, Ortega 6 years the senior. This will be at a catch weight of 130. Big reach advantage for Ortega as we go to Lupe Contreras for the official.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. Este duelo, 3 vueltas a un peso pactado a 130 libras. We continue with much more action this bout. At a catch weight of 130 pounds, los jueces son, the judges are Lorenzo Toledo, Mark Streisand y Richard Green. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de rojo, presenting the blue corner, wearing red. Marcó un peso oficial de 131 libras y 3/4. On the scale, she registered an official weight of 131 3/4 pounds. En su cuarto combate, con una victoria y 2 derrotas, she enters la jaula for the 4th time as a pro, with 1 victory against 2 losses. De la Ciudad de México, de F, Yessica China Ortega. Su contraria en la esquina roja, vestida de blanco. Her opposition in the red corner, wearing white. Her official weight, 129 3/4 pounds. Su peso oficial, 129 libras y 3/4. Igual que su rival. En su cuarto combate a nivel profesional, con 2 victorias y 1 derrota. Like her opponent, she enters la jaula for the 4th time as a professional, with 2 victories against 1 lone defeat. Hailing from Cork and fighting out of Dublin, Ireland, Despicable Begley. El referee, Marcos Pérez.
Marcos Pérez from Panama, the 3rd inside la jaula. And immediately you see the huge height advantage for Ortega.
Yeah, great boxing from Ortega. You'll see a lot of kicks in the hands, and then from D, she has that kickboxing background.
Did lose to Melissa Maya earlier in the year, Ortega, so she's fought some very good competition. So we're underway. Ortega in red, catches a right hand right out of the traps here. Beautiful. Holding on to the clinch.
Great hook from D to kick off the fight. Ortega, though, does have that reach advantage, that height advantage. She used to use it for her advantage. When she gets this fight, if she gets this fight to the center of the jaula, if D keeps pushing in forward, you can use some of the teep to push her off. Use some of those low kicks.
Begley training out of SBG Ireland under the famed John Kavanagh. Under the man who had Conor McGregor under his tutelage. As Rodolfo mentioned, black belt in kickboxing, blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, very decorated in several martial arts.
D trying to make that toss, but Yessica keeping in that guard very tight, not allowing to get those hooks and to sway in those hips to push her down. So Yessica is definitely doing what she needs to do in the clinch here to not take this fight to the floor. And then now kick it back to that striking, where she feels very comfortable. Well, both these ladies feel comfortable in the striking game.
What do you go through, whether you're taller than your opponent or you're shorter than your opponent, by this disparity? It's about 5 inches, and obviously MMA can close the gap in certain ways. There's means where you're the taller fighter or the shorter fighter where you can play to your advantage.
Right. So if you're that shorter fighter, it's unfortunate, but you're gonna have to take a hit or 2. I mean, you're just gonna have to eat 1 or a couple and then work the body. You have to move in real closely, and the body shot this was gonna make it for you to get that opponent to crunch down, and then you can attack the head. Because if not, he'll be all day, or she'll be all day using those kicks, using that reach, keeping you at bay, keeping that distance. So you have to move in. But that's just one bad thing for a shorter fighter, is that you're gonna have to take a hit, unless you're very, very quick.
Begley, well aware of that. She's taking her hits. She can walk through many of them. She's now found a way to get into close quarters, and this is where she can do some damage, although that left arm is held up nicely by Ortega.
Also, since Dee does have that kickboxing background, she can use some of the calf kicks, use some of the kicks in the inner thigh. It's gonna break the wheels there of Yessica. Jessica's taking some shots, especially in the clinch, Max. When you're taking on an opponent who's taller than you, man, it could be so devastating and grueling, and it really takes a lot from you. So you have to really position yourself, grab onto that neck if you're in that clinch, and lay in some knees, sneak in an elbow or two to bring him to your level.
Overhand hit. Begley now with a hand clap into the ears. That's never fun for the recipient. Into the clinch.
Yeah, see how Jessica's positioning her hips, so Dee won't get the better of the power here in the clinch.
Right in the corner of the bone breakers, giving her plenty of guidance. You can hear the conversation.
And trust me, for taller, I've competed with some of the taller guys, and they'll tell you themselves, it's kind of frustrating when they're taking on a shorter opponent, because they have to work extra hard. They have to go down to their level to strike. And with Dee here is slapping there in the face, which could be kind of pretty obnoxious when you're in this position. But it could do the job to distract her and take her to the floor if she wants to.
This is where we have been now, about a minute to go. Another clap to the ear there of Ortega, who is the taller fighter, but her advantage has been taken away. And at times you hear, Rodolfo, you see Begley wedge her head right under the chin, and it's made Ortega uncomfortable.
Yeah, she's good head positioning in that clinch. She's getting the better of it here in that clinch work. Laying in those knees, and shots to the body. There's a lot of pummeling around between these two women.
This is where we are. Dee Begley, really impressive. 7-3 in her amateur ranks. So this is a top-tier prospect coming out of SBG Ireland. Now with some distance, Ortega's trying to unfurl some blows, but she is taking more from Ortega, or pardon me, Begley.
Great right hand from Dee. Yessica once again here in the same position of the clinch. We're wrapping up this first round.
All right, we head to the end of this first round. Begley with the foot on the pulse. Again, we're looking to build the women's rankings here for Combate Global. It is so much on offer for these women. Much will be given if they can seize that opportunity. Win some fights, main events, big paydays, lots of exposure. Again, Combate Global expanding to essentially a global pipeline, but certainly in Latin America where the viewership numbers are high. Great chance to become a star in a fledgling sport.
You can hear Rose Sank there telling Yessica a lot of head movement on her end. Let's see what she's all about in this upcoming round.
Back here for round number 2. It is Dee Begley in the white. Again, official scorecards will be shown here. Overhand kick. Begley very good all round. And again, the kickboxing prowess, we haven't really seen much of it, but you can see when she starts to let those kicks fly, she's very adept.
Yeah, we saw there an axe kick from Dee. If Yessica would have caught that one, boy, that should have been a hard hit to the head. But we're seeing a mirror image from that first round, Max. Back to the clinch work. And this is a good chance right here. And she's been trying to toss Yessica, but it has not worked for Dee. But the knees are there for her. Just threw one in there.
Another separation here. Marcos Perez, Ortega loves to strike, but she has not been given the opportunity, and give credit to Dee Begley, did her homework.
Right, and for Yessica, she needs to use that jab to keep her away, because she's gonna Dee's gonna move in. She's the one, the aggressive one. She's throwing in those right hooks, those overhand rights, and she'll follow it up with the kicks. So for Ortega, she needs to use that distance, use that reach.
Working on that lead leg, trying to bring her down. Ortega looks like she's had a rush of blood to their head. Whatever Dee Begley is doing is working. Ortega looks uncomfortable and has been able to get no offense going. Neither is Begley, but this is the game plan, and so far she has gotten the advantage, and she's prevented her opponent from getting any kind of one.
Yeah, look how Dee positions her head right underneath that chin, rubbing that hair, which could be very aggravating. Sometimes she'll even put in that forearm under her throat. Great
Another
shot from
separation.
Dee. Kick it off. Look at Dee just nailing her.
Right in the midsection.
That
Dee
side kick, yep.
studies the Irish language Gaeilge, which is not, I know I butchered that, I apologize, not widely spoken, but it is an insular Celtic branch. She just goes to show what's a priority in her life.
Smart lady.
Really a breath of fresh air. Again, defeated Chantel Coates in her Combate debut. This is her second fight for Combate. Again, Ireland having a really good relationship, not just the SBG gym, but we've seen a flurry. Franz Mlambo, Patrick Lehan coming here to Combate. There's a space for them, and we know, much like Mexico, Rodolfo, Ireland is growing thanks to Conor McGregor, who is as big a sensation in any sport we have seen in the last 20, 30 years. It's going to get bigger in Ireland because they have an example to set. They can say, there's my path. There's someone I could follow.
You know, we've had the Franz Malambos, the Patrick Lehanes, and we've seen some of that development that has come from Ireland. And you're right, the credit goes to McGregor for becoming a household name and motivating these kids to get to a gym and train. And when you put Mexico and Ireland, man, you know it's going to be a fun fight.
They're very far away, but there's a lot of similarities.
They love
the way
fighting.
They fight, they love to put their head down and swing for the fences. A lot of respect between the two countries and their fighting prowess. Good right hand there by Ortega. Kind of came in and got out. Not following it up with much. Now the knees again.
Yessica there did have the upper hand in that exchange, but Dee going to the clinch. And you hear the corner of Yessica to move her head because Dee has more of the advantage in that clinch. Positioning your head is very important during the clinch. That's where you have to keep moving around, get those hooks under. That'll give you an opening to land a knee or an elbow or a body shot. Or give you an opportunity to toss your opponent as well.
A little crank here by Ortega. Not really a guillotine attempt, but something different she's throwing at Begley in these close quarters. Single leg attempt. Warning there by Ortega, getting her foot too close to the cage.
She was grabbing the cage.
Well, she did.
Yeah, she grabbed it.
Kicks on the inside of the leg. None of that feels good as Ortega's just been under fire, has not been able to, I mean, Begley's been a wet blanket on her.
Good with it for Yessica to separating. She did do a shoulder shot.
Begley built like a keg too. Strong center of gravity.
Yeah, she's a strong woman. Definitely a force to be reckoned with here in La Jaula.
Strong but athletic as well as nimble.
And very aggressive. She likes to push the pace. She's not going to hold back. She'll get right in the pocket. Throw in that right hand. Follow it up with a couple of kicks. As we take a look at some of the highlights from this second chapter, there's the kick, was blocked by Yessica, but was met with that left jab from Dee. And then in the pocket, just landing in some shots in the body. In the clinch here, where Dee always tends to go against Ortega so far of what we've seen here. Great textbook kickboxing kick from Dee. Yessica did tried to land a shoulder shot from that position, just was not effective enough. And we're now ready for the third round of this bout between these two women.
Third fight for Yessica Ortega with Combate Global. Victory over Maria del Rocio Velázquez back on November of 2021. Defeated by Melissa Amaya. No shame in losing that fight, as Amaya 4-0 fighter and really becoming that top dog in the flyweight division. Currently ranked number 2 behind Maritza Sanchez. Round 3 here.
Now we're in the center of La Jaula, Max. This is what benefits Ortega, but overhand right by D. And then pushing the fight to the clinch again.
We talked about the shorter fighter, taller fighter. D. Begley has shown a master class of being the shorter fighter and making it look like an advantage, making it look like Ortega has to overcome.
Well, she has a good game plan. She's moving in forward, very aggressive, which is throwing Ortega off, not allowing her to use that reach. You have to cut that distance. Begley's doing that quite well. And you'll notice as soon as she throws in that jab, Begley just sneaks right in there and pushes her. That's what we end up a lot in the clinch here. But there has to be some exchange. We've seen our referee step in there to break it off to see some action. So there has to be consistent here.
Once again, just diffusing Ortega. Getting close to the main card. We'll be there at the top of the hour. The main event featuring Ramon Vizcarra and Victor Cisneros. You don't want to miss the catchweight matchup between Shaheen Santana and Alejandro Martinez.
I'm really looking forward to that fight. El Pato and Shazam. Woo!
Two guys with, looking to maintain everything to fight for. And a defeat would certainly bring a lot of questions into view. Begley crawls over that extended right leg.
And then a lot of clinch work in this fight. If Yessica wants to win, she has to get this fight to the center. Use that jab, use that distance. Attack the legs.
Underneath again. This has been the exact same strategy in each round. And Begley has, it isn't pretty at times, but boy, is it effective. But staying active enough.
She's been trying to get that toss about 3-4 times already. It just hasn't gone her way. Ortega, good positioning of her hips, not allowing her to toss her over. Now Ortega here has the advantage, but switching it again. Here's to get some shots for some knees. Oh, right to the head.
She didn't like that.
No, that woke her up.
Ortega, you can see the frustration.
Yeah.
Etched in her face, the body language, everything.
Look how D just looks right up, and then as soon as you get the choke, go right into her.
And in pursuit again. Again, you can hear it, the contact from that left leg. Begley's got a really good boxing wherewithal too.
Very well. Look at the shoulder movement.
Everything in the right place.
Mirrors her, follows her. Every step that Ortega does, she follows right through, like dancing in front of the mirror.
Begley combining again. She will be in the 125-pound weight division. Because of the size of Yessica Ortega, she normally would fight at 135, which isn't really, well, as it stands right now, not a weight class that is recognized by Combate. We have atom weight at 105, straw weight 115, and flaw weight 125.
Good exchange there. Begley landing in some shots. More of that clinch work again. They got a minute left, about a minute and change left.
Into the clinch. Ortega now able to put some pressure on Begley, but it was short-lived. 1 minute to go in the fight.
Ortega wants to win this one. She has to throw in a Hail Mary. Got 50 seconds left. And her best bet is to take this fight to the center of La Jaula, exchange, and lay it all out. Because Begley's gonna take her to the clinch again. And she's ahead of the scorecards here. So right now she has the upper hand in this fight. Referee stepping in again.
That's always how he stops around. Stop. We love Marcos. We love our officials here.
Oh, now we're going back and forth.
Better from Ortega. It's too late, but can she get a howitzer in all of this? The look on her face has not changed. Dee Begley has had the momentum and will reach the tape victorious.
Mi nombre es Ismael Zamora Martínez, soy originario de la Ciudad de México y pertenezco al equipo de los Bone Breakers. Yo represento siempre mi bandera. Mi apodo es el Craque. Pues eso quiero ser yo a la hora de estar atacando a mis rivales, que hacer tanta presión, que sientan ese monstruo de 8 extremidades que le está dando con todo.
Je m'appelle Anas Azizoun, j'ai 24 ans. Je suis issu du club Le Chaos Squad. J'habite à Saint-Étienne. Retenez bien mon nom. Donc moi je suis fier de représenter la France et puis montrer au monde entier que les combattants français sont des grands combattants. Alors mon adversaire, je sais que c'est un bon striker, c'est un combattant qui est à l'aise debout, qui est pas mal aussi au sol, donc c'est un combattant assez complet.
Yo vengo a finalizar, a ganarle a quien me pongan enfrente, entonces cuando él sienta la presión considero que va a buscar derribarme. Él va a buscar salirse de la pelea de pie, él no le va a convenir cruzar golpes conmigo. Soy muy técnico, sí, también tengo que ser inteligente a la hora de pelear, pero principalmente me defino por esa agresividad.
La cage, c'est mon territoire, donc si quelqu'un rentre dans ce territoire, c'est qu'il est prêt à faire la guerre. Donc mon adversaire du 30 octobre est prêt à faire la guerre avec moi. Mon combattant, 4 de ses derniers combats, donc avant la limite, mais ça me fait ni chaud ni froid parce qu'il n'a pas eu Anas Azizoun en face de lui et le jour du combat, il va le remarquer.
Back here for the official decision, Dee Begley from pillar to post, likely to see her arm raised. We will confirm it now as we go to Lupe Contreras.
Los jueces Streisand y Green entregan tarjetas idénticas de 30 a 27. Judges Green and Streisand turn in identical scores of 30 to 27. Y el juez Toledo marcó 29 a 28. Judge Toledo scores it 29 to 28. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Los tres a favor de la vencedora por decisión unánime. From Ireland, Despicable Dee Begley.
Ireland, together standing tall. Dee Begley, 3-1. Certainly can ask some questions of the flyweight rankings as she beats the taller opponent, Yessica Ortega. And that'll put a bow on our preliminary fights. We get ready for the main card. Look back at what we saw here in La Jaula. Yessica Ortega and Dee Begley. Dee Begley had a plan, Rodolfo, and she executed it.
She stayed to it, moving in, a very aggressive to the taller opponent, knocking her down right there. But a lot of the action was in the clinch. That's where she had most of the advantage here, landing in some knees, some elbows, some of these things really frustrated Yessica and didn't allow her to use that jab and keep a distance between the two, not allowing Dee to come in, but she kept moving in forward. She controlled the entire fight for the most part. Just great shots from Begley. Good stuff from this young woman all the way from Ireland. I'm sure we'll be seeing her very soon inside La Jaula again.
Ramon Vizcarra getting ready for his main event, getting taped up. What a moment for him. He wasn't in consideration for main event fights, but after his most impressive win of his career, he gets it, and he will take on Victor Cisneros, a man who had all the momentum coming into Combate, but if he loses tonight, That momentum's gone, and he has to bring up questions about how he is prepared for his move to the major leagues. Hugely important fight for two guys in our main event. Again, Cisneros started 5-0 and suffered his first defeat last time out a month ago. Shaheen Santana and Alejandro Martinez is the next fight coming your way. The local kid from Miami, Santana, getting taped up after starting 6-0, looking to end a 2-fight losing streak.
Mi nombre es Ramon Vizcarra, tengo 26 años y soy de Mexicali, Baja California, México. Para mí representar a México en combate pues es algo muy importante porque aunque hay muchos mexicanos, realmente lo importante es resaltar. Lo que hace que los peleadores de México destaquen entre el resto de los peleadores es precisamente que somos muy agresivos. Los golpes son lo nuestro, ¿no? Al parecer. Lo que a mí me hace diferente de mis oponentes es que yo no me rindo. Yo siempre voy a ir hacia adelante, no los dejo que me finalicen. Mi estilo de pelea es de mucha presión. Soy un peleador que le encanta ir hacia enfrente. Con respecto a mi oponente, la verdad sé muy poco de él. Sé que es un oponente duro. Es un oponente duro. Yo simplemente voy a entrar agresivo y en base a lo que me vaya dando es lo que voy a ir agarrando. Estoy seguro de que voy a ganar la pelea. No creo que Víctor esté igual de preparado y decidido que yo a ganar. Bueno, Víctor, espero que vengas muy bien preparado porque la verdad es que no va a ser fácil, que voy a dominar toda la pelea.
Miami, our backdrop. Every week, another Friday night live here on Paramount Plus. The main card has arrived, and it is huge for all 6 fighters that we are about to see. Wins will change everything. In all likelihood, their last fight for 2022. They can start asking questions about what comes next year, which will be the biggest year in Combate Global history. We're in the crosshairs of the bantamweight division. Already a huge upset. The number 2 ranked bantamweight fighter defeated in the preliminary card. Leo de Jario Muñiz unable to come out for the second round due to what we have been an injury to his finger. This is the main card. Diana Sanchez and Elizabeth Mogoyan. Mogoyan, the hard luck loser 3 times in Combate, looking for that first victory. Shaheen Santana and Alejandro Pato Martinez. And the main card, the Wild Boy versus Ragnar, Ramon Vizcarra of Mexicali, Victor Cisneros out of Chiapas. 2 very different parts of Mexico. Contrasting styles. That's your main event. Glad you could join us here on Paramount Plus. My name is Max Bretos alongside Rodolfo Roman. And we're going to kick things off with Santana Martinez. Different paths, USA, Mexico, certainly. It's just so more important to see the arm race for one of these guys.
That fight right there. Hang on to your seats. Santana Martinez. It's going to be a fun one.
Let's get ready for the fight. Santana Martinez.
Estoy practicando MMA porque yo era un fanático del deporte. Muy tarde, a los 23 años, pero entré a los 23 y nunca he mirado para atrás. Mi nombre es Shaheen Santana, tengo 31 años y soy de Miami, Florida.
Estoy muy emocionado, la verdad. Es la primera vez que voy a pelear en Combate Global, así que pues, simplemente a dar todo de mí y poner en alto la bandera. Mi nombre es Alejandro, el Pato Martínez, y soy originario de Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco.
Esta noche yo voy a pelear contra Alejandro Pato Martínez. La pelea va a ser bien, él es muy fuerte, él es veterano del deporte, pero yo vengo a pegar duro y arrancar cuellos, la gente va a ver, ya lo saben.
Tengo mucho en esto, tengo mucha experiencia, es simplemente salir y ser yo ahí arriba de la jaula, que es mi lugar.
Mueve la cabeza, tengan cuidado, no me des el cuello porque te prometo que te termino.
Shaheen, voy con todo, así que ten las manos bien arriba.
Entrando a la jaula, Shaheen Santana.
Shaheen Santana, again, 6-0 fighter, carrying the Dominican flag out from Miami. His amateur record was 5-0. He had never tasted defeat. Went to UFC, got a defeat there, came back here to Combate, lost to Jair Perez. So now it's a moment. He looks in incredible shape. It's a reckoning moment for Santana.
The man is chiseled. He was a bit conservative against that fight against Perez. He lost it by split decision. He took a look at that tape. He took a year off. He hasn't competed since. So this is a different Shazam inside La Jaula. He's ready for action and a victory.
Let's go back to Lupe Contreras for his opponent.
Su oponente, Alejandro Martinez.
From Puerto Vallarta, but also from the tough area of Jalisco. This is Alejandro El Pato Martinez, 13-4, so he has a ton of experience fighting as a lightweight, could certainly get down to 145 as well. Fought for Combate in 2018, 2019, stepped away after 2020 when he defeated Adrian Guzman, then took a little break like Santana, and he has gone unbeaten ever since in 5 fights.
He told me he's been wanting to fight, but unfortunately some of the fights just fell through. Just the same case for Santana. He also wanted to compete, just fights just weren't there for them. So this is his chance, this is his opportunity to get a victory here, continue on the momentum of the winning streak. Fun fighter, very aggressive, loves to throw down those hands. Should be a very fun, fast pace between these two.
And certainly in the case of Pato Martinez, he finishes fights. 10 finishes in his 13 victories. 5 submission victories in the 6 wins for Shaheen Santana. As we look at the head-to-head, both very statuesque. 4-inch reach advantage for Santana. It is a catch weight of 150. Both guys making it. They certainly would project to be at 145. As Santana edged out of a rock, though, even at 150. Let's go to Lupe Contreras for the officials.
Las reglas oficiales de la jaula, 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo a un peso pactado a 150 libras de spout, at a catch weight of 150 pounds. Los jueces, the judges, Dorian Mirasola, James Lázaro y Richard Green. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de azul, presenting the blue corner, wearing blue. Su peso oficial, 148 libras y un cuarto, is official weight, 148 1/4 pounds. En su noveno combate, con 6 victorias y 2 derrotas, he enters la jaula for the 9th time as a pro, with 6 victories against 2 losses. Repping the DR, and fighting out of Miami, Florida, Shaheen Shazam Santana. Su rival en la esquina roja, vestido del tricolor mexicano, verde, blanco y rojo, is opponent in the red corner, wearing the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red. Su peso oficial, 149 libras y un cuarto, is official weight, 149 1/4 pounds. Su récord profesional, 13 victorias, con 4 derrotas y un empate, his pro record, 13 victories against 4 losses and 1 bout even. Oriundo de Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, México, and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Alejandro El Pato Martinez. El referee, Larry Folsom.
Larry Folsom III inside La Jaula.
Hey guys, we want the rules in the back. Do you have any questions? Any questions from you? You have enough piece in? Enough piece in? Okay. If y'all want to touch gloves, do it now and come out fighting.
All right, Shaheen, stick to the plan.
Judge.
Stick to the game.
Judge.
Judge.
Shaheen Santana, the man known as Shazam. He says about his nickname, I finish fights. It's going long. Bam, it's over. Shazam!
That, and you're going to see that quickness right from the start from Santana. Pato just a little bit more calm, more cautious, but he will follow through. Look for those technical combinations from Santana. And of course, as this fight goes to the ground, that's where it could favor Santana. But El Pato's a gritty fighter, man. He'll trade right in the pocket, won't hold anything back. And you can tell, Max, that they respect each other's power, because it's starting off at a slow pace right from the start just to feel it out.
Shaheen Santana in blue, repping the DR, as Lupe Contreras would say. Alejandro Martinez, nickname El Pato, the Duck. Got a nickname from when he was growing up in the barrio, from when he was 15 years old, and it is stuck. Good left hand, but he caught one, and that was right on the ear, and it didn't sit well for El Pato, and he got a little angry with that kick.
Yeah, both these guys are just exciting fighters. Santana with that, oh, he slipped himself there.
Overextended himself. Santana is so long, able to connect from a long distance away.
Santana has not competed in MMA for about a year now, or a year and change. However, he has been competitive in the jiu-jitsu tournaments. He took on Alex Cáceres, better known as Bruce Leroy, and defeated him. That just happened not too long ago this year.
Into that clinch again, and the underhooks for Santana is off to a nice start. Again, he got off to a very slow start in that defeat, a split decision to Jair Perez. I mean, this was a big-time addition to Combate Global, as a little explanation from Santana. So Larry Folsom, there you get back to
grabbing onto the glove. About to kind of question that one. And now you hear the corner there of El Pato say, hey, use those kicks with the body shot. Remember, Santana is a toe. Whoa, look at this exchange here, Max.
What do you call that, Santana?
Oh, that is smart. He's a lankier of the two. He has those long legs. Pato was holding on.
But it's such balance. I mean, Santana looks like he was doing some plumbing work. He's like reaching in there.
But he did have the jaula there to help him stand up in that one leg. But great exchange there. Yeah, this fight, as it goes, is going to just pick up pace more and more.
That left a mark on Santana's temple as he tried to slip his arm underneath El Pato, and he caught that elbow coming in. You can hear El Pato's corner saying he doesn't like it there, and I would tend to agree with him. Santana wants to get out of there. He wants to stretch out his legs a little bit.
Yeah, and it favors a lot of the short fighters at times in the clinch. If you're the shorter of the two.
Gets the back. Now Santana with those long legs, almost like an extra set of arms.
This is where it could be very difficult for El Pato. He needs to get up. Santana has that great submission background. It's fierce, man. It's nothing to play around with. And you hear the corner of Santana. You got plenty of time. They sure do. Minute and a half to go. That's plenty of time to submit your opponent.
Santana extends El Pato, who again has been excellent. 3 straight victories in 2020 and 2021, all via decision. Going back to February of 2020, beat Adrian Guzman, another split decision. That was in Combate. We mentioned Enrique Baby Bull Gonzalez, lost to him via split decision. That's the top guy right now in Combate Global in the 155-pound division.
Great body lock from Santana. That's making it very difficult for Pato to use those hips to break it up. And Santana, any second now, he should be landing those shots to open up that opportunity to land in a rear naked choke. Now he's splitting him up here. He has not let go of that body
Got that
lock.
triangle underneath.
Yeah, Pato is in a dangerous position here. He needs to keep pushing those hips, keep moving around to break that body lock, because he has it very tight.
Well, he sure does. Those legs just lock it in. It's like a jigsaw piece.
Very long legs. Does 20 seconds to go. Santana's gonna land some of those hammers, some of the shots, so he can loosen up Pato to sneak in there rear naked. But he might survive, Max, to the second round.
Excellent adjustment by Santana. He was recoiling in the beginning of this round, but he has taken control by the end. First round, Shaheen Santana patiently waited for his opportunity. It came, and then you can see him lock it in. You can see why he is so good on the ground.
Let's take a look at that opening round contest. Straight from the top, he lost his footing, slipped. Santana waited to get back up and to fight right back to the feet once again, exchanging. Pato having some success here, grabbing onto the legs, just landing those shots to the body. and then some clinch work. Then Santana taking down El Pato to the floor. Well, not much left of time there in the round, about 2 minutes or so. He served for submission, but Pato survived for the second chapter of this bout.
Back here for round 2, and the question is, did Shaheen Santana do enough to take honors in round 1? It was El Pato with the early pace. Again, coming back after a layoff, but fighting as well he has had in his career for El Pato. Shaheen Santana, you can't say that, but he started so well in his career. I mean, he was on a rocket ship.
Martinez comes from a very strong camp. The Extreme Couture has trained with the likes of so many great fighters that train in that camp. Santana training at MMA Masters, located in South Florida, home to some notable names as well. You'll see Santana here. He likes to switch the stands. Look at that open scoring going to the first round, rightfully so, to Santana.
And his jiu-jitsu prowess able to get his nose out in front in that opening round.
Right, half of that round, Max, was controlled by Santana's jiu-jitsu game.
Shaheen Santana, again, 6 victories, 5 submission wins. You go back to 2019, guillotine. He had a rear naked choke victory as well. Now they're swinging. Now Santana's got to get a little more aggressive. Trying to get that knee in. El Pato had a good center of gravity.
Yeah, Santana needs to move. Martinez is, El Pato's very aggressive. We're going with those kicks, those low kicks, and he'll just lay a flurry of punches. Santana, in that position, he didn't move. He needs to move.
Santana with a big kick. You look at those thin legs, you wonder if they pack a punch. They certainly do. Looks can be deceiving with that slender frame. He is strong. He gets caught with the right hand, though, on the way out to Santana.
Power comes from the hips, Max. That's what makes the... Straight shot.
That hurt him.
From El Pato, but Pato needs to capitalize on it.
That buckled Santana, no doubt about it. Oh, and another upstairs. That was blocked, though, by Santana.
Yeah, but El Pato needs to keep those hands up because Santana will throw in those wild punches, some spinning elbows, some spinning back fists. He can hit you from anywhere, at any time.
Another big kick. El Pato looking comfortable. Just like round 1, a good start, but this is a better start to round 2 than he had in the first.
I see Santana made this energy level just a little down from compared to the first.
Yeah, he's kind of in between places here. Little lost. Shaheen Santana.
Pato didn't check that kick. Good kick for Santana.
Santana says my fighting style is long, rangy, and sharp. Right. But look at the balance there by Santana. Able to quell the power of El Pato. Combination.
Yeah, but he had his hands up there. Oh, that shot went in from Santana.
They made close quarters. Santana really second best throughout round 2. Did win round 1, so he's got that going for him.
Pato is just banking on the right hand.
Santana started the gym Freestyle Academy for 6 years. That's where he grew. He knew he could take a step up in class. Moved his camp to MMA Masters. That's where he is now. Vascar Cruz, Colby Covington, Janny Chavez, amongst others who call MMA Masters home. Good right hand after El Pato fired off a few elbows.
Oh, great left. Here's a trivia for your Max. Freestyle, or FFA as they call it. Likes of Kimbo Slice started there.
Wow. The late great Kimbo, a Miami legend.
Masvidal even trained there for a bit. But it was Kimbo.
I remember
he even did like an infomercial for them. It was pretty funny.
Remember watching the Kimbo Dada 5000 fight? It was one of the greatest.
That's another conversation to have over coffee.
Yes. No one enjoys his coffee more than Rodolfo Roman. The king of the cafecito here in Miami. 1 minute to go here in round 2. Excellent fight here for Alejandro Martinez.
Great
Back with
kicks from
Combate
Pato.
where he belongs.
Oh, just 3 solid kicks from Pato landing in. Body shot.
He's combining it. Oh, that
one hit him.
That hurt him. It was
that one got him in the liver.
That hit him in the internals. And Santana's still groggy, not putting any pressure on those legs. Martinez continues to fly.
Pato needs to capitalize, and you hear the corner of Santana say recover.
Santana has a little wiggle room because he won that first round. It would appear he's lost round 2. Comes in with that left hand. Nothing behind him, though. He has not been able to get the ground game going in round 2, and that's the difference.
Great way of setting up that left and then going to the uppercut from Pato.
Changing stances, Santana getting out of dodge. Final 10 seconds. Big head kick, but Santana really has to save his best for round 3. And it looks like Santana's hurt. I mean, he went down to his knees, but I think that's something, maybe that liver kick from earlier.
Yeah,
but he is in a bad way.
And even his energy level in this round just has not been the same.
Don't think about that. We're not thinking about that. All we need is for you to clinch him and take it back. The same way we did the first round. We don't need to distract him right now and stay in the striking range with him. All right? And when you pop, look, you gotta give me 5 more minutes. That's all. One more fucking round. One more round and win this fight. Yes, sir. You can't give this third round away. You're gonna lose the fight. All right? You wanna win this fight? You gotta win this third one. Same as the first round. I don't want to just, you're in the cage, get the fuck out of there. He just want to load up with the right hand. Get out. Get out of there. Same as the first round. Give it everything you got. It's 5 4 minutes. Get stuck in the cage, all right? Get circle.
We are back for the 3rd round. Some interesting words from the corner of Shaheen Santana. I think he said he hurt his wrist, and then the corner said, I don't want to hear about that. What you got to do here is what you did in the first round. Take him down. You can't lose the 3rd round or you're going to lose this fight. Find a way to pivot and get Martinez to the ground.
Yeah, that's the word there from Danny Chavez. Good way, man. I want him as a coach.
Yeah.
I trained with him a couple of times. He's a big-time motivator there.
I think it's the left hand. Something about the left hand that's bothering Santana. He held on to it.
Yeah, he hasn't been throwing it much. You can see it there. I noticed in that 2nd round, something was a little off.
And now he's an odd switch of stance to try and protect that left hand. You can see the fingers extended. It's not...
Right. It's kind of loose, just hand dangling in there. So something.
But you need that left hand to take down your opponent.
Right.
It doesn't look good for him.
Well, you could... It's tough, but you could use one arm. You could go ahead.
Understood.
There's chances. Of course you can.
Oh, but he can't protect himself. He takes that left hand. And Martinez, it's been a shooting gallery by and large this round and the previous one.
Yeah, see, he's not being as offense.
As expected, Martinez evens out the scorecards.
Boy, oh boy. Now Martinez just needs to push the pace, keep moving in forward. That's why you heard the corner from Santana to move. Don't stick there.
He grabbed that left wrist again. Big kick, Martinez. Yeah. So there's unorthodox means for Santana to get close to Martinez.
See when he threw in that left, it just hanged in there. Didn't come out with much power.
We'll get more details about the severity. He actually used it there to set up the right hand. He has to.
That's all you can do.
Left hand stays down. Martinez has to sense that.
It's going to be stationary. If it's damaged, if it's hurt. I mean, right now, it's just hard.
One of the Ultimate Fighter at one point, Alejandro Martinez, when he left that, he had 7 and 8 months without fights, was tough then, thought about retiring many times. His friends and his support convinced him. They said, no way, everything in time. That was a direct quote.
Right, and since that injury, it seems that it's coming into play. You hear the corner of Santana use the body kicks.
And Martinez looks really compact and solid.
He's doing what he needs to do. He's chopping in those legs, pushing the pace, being aggressive, closing the distance. And when he gets really close, he'll just land in those combinations, work the body.
Good knee, Santana. Again, his corner wants him to take him down. First round, Martinez was winning until Santana was able to take him down and get the jiu-jitsu in.
And see how he's protecting that left hand, Max. And I'm sure Martinez any second now is going to put up a kick. And when Santana covers with his left, You know, that's an impact to him as he took a look at some of the punches there.
This could be something for Santana. You can hear the corner. He says, this is what we wanted. If he can get underneath those armpits.
Look at that left leg, just the left hand, sorry.
He can't put any pressure on it.
He can't grip anything.
He takes it out of there, actually.
Yeah. He can't grip anything at all.
We have so much respect for these fighters, how much they have to deal with pain and what they have to overcome. He has to use that left hand. He digs in there. He gets the waist. Now he's got something. 90 seconds to work with.
Notice how he has the grip on the wrist.
Whoa, very nice from Santana. The transition. Gets the back. Now those long legs have to do their part.
This is his bread and butter. This is where he
What an incredible turn. Hang in, folks. What a finish we got in store. Taking the coaching.
Man, he's just trying hard. He has a gable grip. I mean, that right there is just fortitude, Max.
Unbelievable. Much respect for Santana.
See how he can't get that grip? He keeps putting it on and off.
He's still got some time, not a lot of it.
He has that strong body lock.
Yeah, this is where his strong legs will keep him in this fight. Using the left hand to stay active.
And he's got rear naked choke there.
Rear naked, he still keeps it up top. Larry Folsom's going to take a peek.
I think Pato has that chin turned.
Look at Santana squeezing. His eyes are closed, putting everything into it.
He has that chin down. No, he has that chin down. But man,
Martinez hanging on. Now, will this put the third round in peril if it goes to the judges?
Martinez just may hang around by the skin of his teeth.
Now. He's turned it.
He has it. He has it. Wow.
He's tapped out. Shaheen Santana with a bad peg. Fighting through the pain. Took the back of Alejandro Martinez. And he took victory from the jaws of defeat. An incredible performance. Shazam!
He pulled a rabbit out of the hat with an injured hand. It don't matter. It's just and look, Pato, you can tell that he was just waiting for the bell, but he just couldn't take enough. He tapped out. But wow, what a way of putting in. I mean, he had less than 2 minutes to go. He heard his corner.
He was on the clock, Rodolfo.
Yeah, he was looking. He was like, let's go.
This is it. And Martinez knows it. Look at him walk around.
Wow.
That is basically,
that's hard.
In many ways, giving away a win. But that is all the credit to Santana. What a fight. Victor Cisneros in the main event. That's coming your way next as he fights the challenge of the wild boy, Ramon Vizcarra.
Púas, Cristian Pérez.
Really impressive opening minute from Púas.
Guillotine. Guillotine.
Oh, no, big right hand there for Pérez. 30
he
seconds.
Might have the rear naked choke.
MMA, mucha más acción from Combate Global. And clean face is the big overhand right. Incredible talent inside the house.
Using it towards his advantage. He's opening him up.
Crossface.
Crossface again.
Back underneath the chin.
And there it is.
So Christian. Alvarez can't walk. He's still firing. That left leg is gone. That right eye is bloody. Oh, Púas got hit on the way in. And folks, this is a special fighter you're seeing right now. Púas Pérez from Ensenada flies out, takes the lead leg. Now perhaps the guillotine. I gotta say, Rodolfo, look at that striking.
This could be Patrick's opportunity, Max.
He's trying to spin out of it. He's tapped out. Tapped out. Remember the name, Christian Púas. Absolutely demolishing.
Beautiful spinning back. Yeah, looking at
big left hand. Blood coming out from the right eye. Just violent strikes. Oh! Takes the center of the jaula and swinging for the fences right out of the traps. And that's it, the tap. Christian Pérez is winning this fight. Oh, short right by Pérez. Púas Pérez dropped him. Oh, Ruelas' face looking like hamburger in big trouble. Oh, Alvarez is a fries on that. He finally dropped him. Púas tells him.
Cristian Pérez.
In In the backstage, it's Ramon Vizcarra. Final preparations for the biggest fight of his MMA career. Main event, facing Victor Cisneros. Looking for back-to-back wins. Cisneros seeing his undefeated record go down the tubes in his Combate debut. And now, looks to get his first win, an important one to show that all the hype was real. An incredible fight just concluded. Shaheen Santana coming all the way back. Let's get the official decision.
La esquina azul consigue el mata-león con un tiempo oficial de 4 minutos 47 segundos del tercero y último asalto. The blue corner sinks in the rear naked choke with an official time of 4 minutes, 47 seconds of the third and final round. Your winner by way of submission, el vencedor por sumisión. Repping the DR, Shaheen Shazam Santana.
He has done a lot in his career. I would imagine, though, that has to be the most satisfying win of the 7 as he improves to 7-2 and now can become really one of the faces of Combate. Tony Padilla, Mike Aframowicz joining him inside the jaula. This was a roller coaster ride, Rodolfo. Back and forth. Even from that opening round, El Pato Martinez was winning, and then Santana got some of the ground game going.
He took control of the fight in that first round towards the middle part of it. As you'll see, it ended up on the ground, but it was back and forth from Pato landing in those right-hand combinations and kicks as well. Look at he set it up at one point, grabbing a leg and just laying a flurry of shots right here. And then Santana with those kicks, blocking it away. He felt that when it was a shot to the body. But then in that second chapter, the energy level of Santana just wasn't there. And then we found out that it seemed like an injury to the left hand. And he wasn't using it enough. Even with the gripping here, he just couldn't grab onto something. But he found it somewhere beneath him. His pure heart. With one wing, this man flew on to victory.
Shaheen Santana, he had that injury to the left wrist. We'll find out some more details how bad it was, but he wasn't able to use it. You could see it clear as day. Used his legs and used just a ton of inspiration. Should be 6-3, but instead 7-2. And Alejandro Martinez, that's going to be a very bitter pill to swallow for him as his 5-fight unbeaten streak comes to an incredible end. He had it.
Martinez fought it out. He had 13 seconds left. But Santana just was able to capitalize and put in that rear naked choke and add a victory to his resume. Shazam.
Shazam.
You had
like
to
he
throw
said,
that in there.
like I said, all of a sudden, Shazam. Getting La Jaula ready. I saw Campbell McLaren tweeting if it was putting it to a vote, should they keep this Jaula style the way it is, or should they change it up? I feel like we just getting used to it. But again, you gotta roll with the punches. You just gotta stay with the mode, what people are asking about.
There's no doubt, lots of what a great year so far we've had. So much excitement. Good stuff.
Okay, getting ready for Halloween in La Jaula. Horror!
Mi nombre es Ismael Zamora Martínez, soy originario de la Ciudad de México y pertenezco al equipo de los Bone Breakers. Yo represento siempre mi bandera. Mi apodo es el Cracker. Pues eso quiero ser yo a la hora de estar atacando a mis rivales, que hacer tanta presión, que sientan ese monstruo de 8 extremidades que le está dando con todo.
Je m'appelle Anas Azizoun, j'ai 24 ans. Je suis issu du club Le Chaos Squad. J'habite à Saint-Etienne. Retenez bien mon nom. Donc moi je suis fier de représenter la France et puis montrer au monde entier que les combattants français sont des grands combattants. Alors mon adversaire, je sais que c'est un bon striker, c'est un combattant qui est à l'aise debout, qui est pas mal aussi au sol, donc c'est un combattant assez complet.
Yo vengo a finalizar, a ganarle a quien me pongan enfrente. Entonces, cuando él sienta la presión, considero que va a buscar derribarme. Él va a buscar salirse de la pelea de pie. Él no le va a convenir cruzar golpes conmigo. Soy muy técnico, sí, también tengo que ser inteligente a la hora de pelear, pero principalmente me defino por esa agresividad.
La cage, c'est mon territoire, donc si quelqu'un rentre dans ce territoire, c'est qu'il est prêt à faire la guerre. Donc mon adversaire du 30 octobre est prêt à faire la guerre avec moi. Mon combattant, 4 de ses derniers combats, donc avant la limite, mais ça me fait ni chaud ni froid parce qu'il n'a pas eu Anas Azizoun en face de lui, et le jour du combat, il va le remarquer.
Coming next week on a special Sunday, October the 30th, horror in La Jaula, as we will see the return of the Kraken. Anas Azizoun, the French kickboxing powerhouse, making that transition to MMA. We'll see if he's got the goods.
He has that one victory in MMA by way of submission, ironically, taking on Zamora, who has been on fire inside La Jaula. 5th fight so far. It'll be 5 fights on October 30th that Zamora has competed in 2022. When you come to think about it, some fighters just fight once a year. This guy took 5 fights. Just goes to show you the type of fighter he is. But looking forward to that and to see if he plays the same fight that the Frenchman will play, because he's a kickboxer. He's going to push the pace. He's going to be aggressive. So Zamora needs to be a little bit more patient, not play his game.
Ismael Kraken Zamora, one of the top-ranked fighters. Expecting big things from him, currently number 5 in the bantamweight division. Miami, the place to be. Friday night, October. It's a beautiful evening in the city. A lot of people are out, but the people who are really satisfied are at home right now, maybe gathered around a bar that's got the stream on from Paramount Plus, taking in all that is Combate Global. We have reached the main event. Key bantamweight matchup. Ramon Vizcarra, he's been an incredible servant for Combate Global over the years, but was going back and forth, wins and losses. He got maybe his best win of his career. Now he is looking to build off of that. Ramon Vizcarra from the fighting town of Mexicali knows what's at stake.
Lo que hace que los peleadores de México destaquen entre el resto de los peleadores es precisamente que somos muy agresivos, ¿no? Si bien somos muy famosos también en el box, es precisamente porque los golpes son lo nuestro, ¿no? Al parecer. No sabría decir cómo se va a desarrollar la pelea. Yo simplemente voy a entrar agresivo y en base a lo que me vaya dando es lo que voy a ir agarrando. Lo voy a dominar completamente. Víctor, espero que vengas muy bien preparado porque la verdad es que no va a ser fácil. Te voy a dominar toda la pelea.
Entrando a la jaula, Ramon Vizcarra.
The man who is named a wild boy. It started when he had his debut. The promoter suggested, hey, we're gonna call you Wild Boy. He goes, okay, it's stuck. And now with all these great fighters coming out of Mexicali, from Rafa Garcia to Edgar Chairez, Ramon Vizcarra is the man standing here in the biggest forum, or certainly one of them, in mixed martial arts, La Jaula.
And Wild Boy is a fitting name, Max, because this man loves to brawl when you're in the pocket. So look out for some fists from this man, but he also counts on a very, very good jiu-jitsu game.
Victor Cisneros wants to put Chiapas on the map. He knows a victory is the best way to do it.
I am a winner and I got Lo que me motiva para seguir peleando es todo lo que me he sacrificado para estar acá. Soy una persona muy obsesionada en cuestión de entrenamiento, perfección y peleas, pues que yo siento que tengo más hambre que cualquier otro. Yo creo que la pelea va a empezar arriba, de striking como buenos mexicanos, pero yo siento que por parte de él va a ser un poquito más piso. Pero bueno, estamos listos para lo que venga. Duelo de mexicanos, hermano, hay que dar show y no hay que dejar con la espinita a las personas. Venga.
Su contrincante, Víctor Cisneros.
As he said, it's a battle between Mexicans, but Mexicali and Chiapas couldn't be further apart. One in the southeast of the country, one right there on the border. Lost to Sean Mora. It was a fight that he just never had a hold of. It went the distance, but right from the beginning, it just didn't fit right for Victor Cisneros. You can forgive him. It's his first fight in Combate, but now he's got that fight under his belt. He's got to do better.
And Wild Boy's a different fighter compared to Moro. Moro had that background in wrestling. He had 2 highlights in that fight where he nearly got a submission victory, but Moro just put all his body weight and controlled him on the ground. Cisneros, though, he has a very good right hand. He tends to throw it and follow up with takedowns. He also counts on a strong background in the ground game as well, so it should be a fun one between these two.
Almost mirror images to just add to the perfect matchup. Both the same age, 1 inch difference in height, same reach, and they both hit their spot. This was going to be at bantamweight. They come a little bit over. They call it a 140-pound catch weight. Let's go to Lupe Contreras and get to the fight.
Este es el duelo estelar de esta noche. Una guerra mexicana a 3 vueltas, a un peso pactado a 140 libras. This is the main event. An all-Mexican shootout set for 3 rounds at a catch weight of 140 pounds. Los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green, Mark Streisand y Dorian Mirasola. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de verde con blanco, presenting the blue corner, wearing green with white. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 138 libras y media. On the scale, he registered an official 138 1/4 pounds. Entra por 10ª vez a la jaula, con 5 victorias y 4 derrotas, y enters la jaula for the 10th time as a pro, with 5 victories against 4 losses. Puro Chicali, Ramon, Wild Boy Vizcarra. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestido de rojo con blanco, is opposition in the red corner, wearing red with white. Su peso oficial, 139 libras y media, his official weight, 139 1/2 pounds. En su 7º combate, con 5 victorias y 1 derrota. En his 7th professional bout, with 5 victories against 1 defeat. De la Ciudad de México, Víctor Ragnar Cisneros. El referee, Alana Vélez.
Alana Vélez, the third inside la jaula.
In the locker room, obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch him up, go ahead. Come out, fight.
Judge. Víctor Cisneros, 5-1, 4 submission victories. Ramon Vizcarra, up and down career. He has been with Combate since February 2019. We are underway.
Yeah, and Vizcarra said it. He's going to be the more aggressor of the two, and we can see it right here, moving right at Cisneros. And the weapon of choice for the Wild Boy is the guillotine choke. He has 3 wins that way. Look at, he just follows through.
Vizcarra in green, and Cisneros said, he goes, we can both, and look, I am a master of the submission, but he knows Vizcarra's gonna wanna take it to the ground. He's gonna wanna keep it upright. He says, I never give up. I am obsessed with fighting. What separates me is I have more hunger than others. Less than 2 months since he last fought, so he was really eager to get back in there.
ready to go, ready for business. Vizcarra here just trying to land something in there. Look for that jab. He loves to put that jab in there. Has a lot of power in it. And he likes to set it up. Good inside kick. Cisneros didn't check that one.
He's got a first round guillotine choke last July against Ulises Molina. Prior to that, went to decision with David Zellner. That was in June, so this is his third fight this year. Fought 3 times in 2021. One of those fights, that was a defeat, but it was a doctor's stoppage.
I got the corners telling Wild Boy, hey, calm down, relax. Take it easy. Do a little combo there. Because he, right from the start, he was just pushing in, being the aggressor. But that's his style, though. That's what he likes to do, especially if he gets in the pocket and he closes that distance. I mean, he loves to trade. He's not going to hold back.
And he looks good in the striking, which is something that Cisneros thought wasn't going to happen, but he's got the upper hand thus far.
Cisneros, though, he has been able to cut the corners, and until now, he's letting in some combinations. And look at that body. Vizcarra's been working that body. Look at the side left rib area of Cisneros. It's a little bruised up because of the kicks. And on the abdomen area, it's a little bruised up because of the shots of Wild Boy. Now, this is where Wild Boy likes it. He likes in the ground, but so does Cisneros. So this is where it gets pretty interesting.
Now he gets hemmed in there under the wraps. Vizcarra looking very comfortable on the feet, looking very comfortable in the guard of Cisneros.
It's going to come down who has that better wrestling or transition on the ground game.
And we've got to reiterate, because we saw Cisneros and he looked sluggish against Sean Mora, but prior to that, 4 submission victories in a row, all ending in the first round. Kimura and 3 armbar victories.
And look how Cisneros is setting up for something here. Look at the left arm. Trying to grab it. Also landing in some elbows from this position. Wild Boy, though, doing quite well.
Wild Boy come out with conviction. Got a little cut, though, on his right eyebrow. Cisneros laboring hard again. You can see the blood of Vizcarra on the body of Cisneros, who gets to his feet. Gets in that clinch. Clinch, the same word in English and Spanish, as we just heard. Vizcarra looks great. I mean, this is a different fighter than we saw in 2020, 2019. I remember seeing him lose via decision to Ernesto Stallion Ibarra.
More of that clinch work. He tried to land that shoulder shot from this position.
Look at the face of Cisneros. It's like, man, this is hard work. I have not experienced anything like this.
Well, no, when you get to the big leagues, Max, it's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, that was on the inside of rail there. That knee from Vizcarra.
Surely he has all those victories. Very impressive, too, and no disrespect to his previous opponents, but when you get in a jaula, you get a new deck of cards.
By the way, the head placement of Yessica is really bothering Cisneros, and that is by design.
Yes, of course, and we saw it earlier in a previous fight here with Yessica and Dee. You'll see the person like Vizcarra right here, Wild Boy, positioning that head. It becomes very obnoxious. So that hair rubbing into the shin.
Cisneros doesn't like it. He's gonna have to do better. Something has to click into place here for Victor Cisneros now. His 4th round with Combate Global.
Now that seems more like a scratch, not like a cut, Max.
Yep.
If you take a look at the highlights here from that first round, great, beautiful kick there from Wild Boy, landing on the side left leg of Cisneros. But Cisneros be very composed. He hasn't let those hands go. He has to let them go. On the ground game, Wild Boy, lots of pressure here. And I think maybe here's where he, oh, we couldn't see the rest of it there, but I think that's where he might have landed a scratch, maybe the glove or something.
We are back here for round 2, and Rodolfo, we saw it in between rounds. You said it was a scratch, but it looks like the scar tissue kind of coming to the surface.
Well, you got it on the forehead, and on the side of the right eye.
Excellent opening round by the Wild Boy, who is in the midst of a major revival in his MMA career. Look at him, he's fast, he's quick, he's
Wild
adept.
Boy.
He's wild.
He loves to trade when it really close distance. He'll sit there and he'll brawl with you, and he'll take it.
Are you
give it right back?
Are you a big Duran Duran fan?
You're showing your age.
I guess I am. So you don't remember the song Wild Boys? That's a no. Rodolfo, he only listens to Pantera and Megadeth.
Lamb of God, yeah.
Lamb of God.
Bring me the horizon.
Lamb of God, the great Art Cruz. Follow him on Instagram. As we expected, Vizcarra wins that first round, and he's continuing to maintain the tempo.
Right, and he's keeping up that tempo, hence the judges awarded him that first round. And we're right back to have that first round.
And this is amazing because Cisneros is so highly regarded, but to me, to use analogy, he looks like a guy who's come up from AA into the major leagues. Everything looks a little faster, everything looks a little quicker, and he can't keep pace.
I'm sure the Wild Boys camp took a look at that video of Cisneros and Mora, and it comes down to this, you know, working from the guard, positioning those hips, making it very difficult for Cisneros to get out of this, pinning him, putting all that body weight. Now, Cisneros is very dangerous on the ground, too. He does have several victories by way of submission. But Wild Boy, very smart on playing that body weight, positioning his head, not allowing him to grab any arms to get a submission. See, now he's pushing him now towards closer to the jaula. Well, good way for Cisneros taking it here to the, moving away from the jaula. Ana Labella is giving a warning to Cisneros not to put the toes on the jaula or he will remove a point. He doesn't want that at this point right now in this fight.
Again, Cisneros in his guard. It's been that way pretty much for the duration of this fight. Cisneros, who wanted to become a fighter, wanted to be adept at something, trains with Mexican pride. Under Rodrigo Casuala Vargas, fought at UFC in the small town of Tonala in Chiapas.
See, like as Cisneros just positioning himself to get the fight to the feet. There's that wizard. And you hear the corner there, take up, pop up that hip. So he could take Wild Boy out. But Wild Boy playing it very well, holding on to his body. And now he has a good chance. He
may have to crank something. I mean,
and he may make up for a guillotine there. At one point, he had a good... Well, there it is. Switching around to the back.
Vizcarra's been one step ahead in everything. As you can see, that scratch that is starting to create some blood as the sweat starts to roll.
And Ramon, or Wild Boy, you can tell his corner, keep active, because he's winning on the ground, but he wants to make sure that he's showing the referee that he's doing something. He's continuing to be active to prevent the fight to get back on the feet.
Vizcarra, who fought Ulises Molina, finished in first round. He goes 2 minutes in. I got him by the guillotine. Referee said Referee said he did not respond. He wanted to take me to the ground, speaking of Molina, and when that happened, that's when I finished him.
Wild Boy attempted to get that figure 4 max from this position. If he's able to get the figure 4 body leg lock, he's in good shape to land a submission, because he's gonna grab him there like a Venus flytrap, not letting him go anywhere. He does have less than a minute to go, Max, if he wants to take advantage of this position. Cisneros, though,
full stretch Cisneros.
Cisneros not doing much from this position, Max. He does need to do something. At the same time, he has to be careful because he can't leave that opening at the chin. Wild Boy could grab and land a rear naked. Let's see, there he is, popping in those hips. And then he'll be able to turn and then get the guard.
Oh, and he's going to try. He's going to crank on there. Cisneros turns to avoid the rear
There's the
naked. He'll survive the round, but he is being, again, completely outclassed. Victor Cisneros, in addition to that, just looks tired now. And we could say maybe Cisneros hasn't lived up to the hype, but I'm going to give Vizcarra a lot of credit. And we saw that in his last fight. You almost saw him turn the corner, like it clicked. He's figuring some things out, becoming a really good all-round fighter.
And you see the involvement tonight against Cisneros. As we take a look at the second round, Cisneros attempted that roundhouse kick, that back kick. Wild Boy not doing much enough with that. And now it was Wild Boy on the ground here spinning. Cisneros giving the back. And Wild Boy came just short of landing a submission.
Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. Last round.
Ramon Vizcarra, hands on hips. A seasoned pro, he is comfortable in his own skin. You would have to think he is not letting this one get away. It falls to Victor Cisneros to come up with something big. Don't get on the ground. He said he's got to avoid that, got to keep it on his feet, but he has not practiced what he preached. Catch of the lead leg for Vizcarra.
Yeah, Cisneros just hasn't figured out the puzzle of Wild Boy because he's so aggressive. Sometimes you even puzzle what move he's gonna make. And Cisneros pretty much has been shut down, Max.
Yeah,
he hasn't been able to do anything.
Vizcarra, who we asked him about where was the turn in form, he goes, I look at mistakes, I look at details. I don't want to know a lot about the opponent. I know he is hard, he'll come out aggressive, but I will dominate completely, and he has.
You know, Cisneros said that he's been working a lot on his striking and combinations, but we haven't seen much of it. And credit goes to Wild Boy's tempo. He's been so fast, so quick on moving in forward, not allowing Cisneros. It's more like Cisneros just like a deer in the headlights. Now Cisneros.
This is better.
Yeah, he's taking the advantage. He's the one that's ahead of this clinch work.
He's doing what Vizcarra did to him in the first round, getting that head right under his chin up against La Jaula.
He's flipping the page.
Stop, stop, stop.
Separation from Alan Abeles. Cisneros back to the drawing board.
See how Wild Boy wastes no time. He goes right at him.
That was crazy, Rodolfo, because Cisneros wasn't even ready for it. And why would you not be?
Protect yourself at all times. Look at the open scoring there, Max. Second round going to Wild Boy again.
Big knees, inside, outside, up, down, around.
He may switch levels here. It's a good opportunity for him. And you hear Cisneros, position yourself. He tried to take it down, but now
wow. The back. Look at this, Cisneros turned big time.
Maybe Cisneros might pull something out the hat.
We've seen it once tonight. Shaheen Santana coming back and submitting Pato Martinez with 13 seconds to go in the third round. Now he drops the hips.
He grabs something here. Yeah,
he's really cranking here. Vizcarra in big trouble. It's underneath the chin. Vizcarra's pushing.
Wild Boy's pushing up that elbow.
It's still underneath that. It's still underneath. He's not blocking it off. Cisneros turtles in.
No, he's turning around. Now he waits for the armbar. Okay, good way of pushing out.
Vizcarra just would. There's no way. You've had to probably put him out cold to concede him there.
Cisneros just has these high hopes, and it's the same thing with Mora, where he nearly submitted him. And we're in the same position again here in the third round against Wild Boy.
We mentioned that Victor Cisneros fought recently, September the 9th. He said there's an advantage of fighting not too long ago. You had a long camp, and I have good cardio and weight. I've got that, dealing with small technical details on the floor and striking. But he looks like a guy who fought recently. It's a little worn out.
Wild Boy is he's just a very confusing puzzle for Cisneros. He hasn't been able to put it together. Wild Boy has been controlling the fight on the floor, except for just that one ray of hope that Cisneros had. in this round. Now he's giving away that back. We all know that this is a very dangerous position for that person. What he needs to do is he needs to rip that grip, pop his hips, and get out.
Hope slipping away for Cisneros, and it's etched on his face.
See how Cisneros grabs onto that wrist of Wild Boy? But right now he needs to position himself to sit down. Good way, though, of Wild Boy of positioning that left leg, not allowing Cisneros to move. He keeps that, and he's going to try to grab that body lock if he has that chance.
He is not letting Cisneros out.
Good shots there. And then he's trying to sneak in a rear naked choke. There's that body. He just keeps looking for any opening. He's looking for a mistake that Cisneros can make so he can capitalize on.
Well, Mexicali's been in an incredible destination. We actually had some live events down there, and it's gotten away, but now Ramon Vizcarra is bringing sexy back in Mexicali, and it looks like we're going to hear Lupe Contreras say, Puro Chicali, one more time. Ramon Vizcarra, comprehensive. Looks like he's well on his way to back-to-back victories. First time in his career he could do that. It's a new fighter, Ramon Vizcarra. Water on the bridge, no fresh buckets. Official decision coming up next. Diana Sanchez warming up, our final fight coming on. She was victorious in her professional debut, looking to go 2-0. And what about Elizabeth Moragan Avila? Hard luck loser 3 occasions, looking for that elusive victory. If not now, then will it ever come? She is locked in. Biggest professional moment for her coming up next. We are ready for the official decision. We go back inside La Jaula. Ramon Vizcarra about to get his arm race for a second straight fight.
Los tres jueces entregan tarjetas idénticas de 30 a 27. All 3 judges are in complete agreement with scores of 30-27 a favor del ganador por decisión unánime in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Puro Chicali, el Wild Boy, Ramon Vizcarra.
Puro Chicali indeed. Don't let the record deceive you. This is a guy in the ascension, and we look forward to him. That was impressive from a guy who has been working on his craft and in the midst of the best he has fought ever.
Great stuff from the Wild Boy. He did his homework on Cisneros. As we take a look at the highlights of that 3-rounder between these two, as Lupe called it, a Mexican shootout right from the start. Wild Boy leading the way in the fight, being the aggressor on the offensive side, everything with the kicks and the shots from the hands. But it was when he was able to take this fight to the ground where things just changed, and he had full control of it. Cisneros just couldn't figure out this puzzle, couldn't figure out how to find a way to perhaps submit Wild Boy. Wild Boy just played his weight very well. He only had one ray of hope, and that was in the last round where Cisneros nearly had Wild Boy, but Wild Boy was able to escape, and it was just Wild Boy the entire 3 rounds. And it was right here. This is a shot from the referee's ample where he nearly attempted a rear naked choke or an arm bar, but this wasn't happening. Wild Boy was just too smart. Great transition, pummeling away. He played a very good, smart fight. Congratulations to this young man. Evolving, improving inside La Jaula.
Yeah, good reminder. He's just 26. So he got an early start in Mucho Más Acción. And now it's hitting. I mean, for Victor Cisneros, you go, obviously, you wipe away the first performance against Sean Mora, but now you ask a lot more questions. He really has to go back and figure what he can do to get this right, because the stats overwhelming.
You have to throw.
You have to throw. There was 17 punches.
He kept moving forward. He kept being aggressive.
And that was supposed to be his
right.
his
he said that and he even said it. I've been working a lot on my striking. He did cut the corners for some time, but then he just, it's like he saw a ghost.
We are in Miami, one fight to go. By the way, Rodolfo, what can we expect in Horror in La Jaula? Will there be zombies? Will there be witchcraft?
Blood.
We're in Miami.
That's what you're going to
Santeria.
expect.
Some blood.
That's what you will get, blood.
There's going to be blood. Indeed. Might be some blood coming your way exactly here. Diana Sanchez and Elizabeth Mogoyan coming your way as we draw the curtain on the fight card here on this Friday night / Saturday morning. The 25-year-old from Ferndale, Washington, looking to go 2-0. Elizabeth Mogoyan Avila looking for her first victory. Let's go to Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Diana Sanchez.
As we said in the pre-fight show, she is true to the state of Washington. When asked what she loved about her home, she said, "I love rain, clouds, wind, breeze, and the smell of nature." Debuted 2 weeks ago, beating Damaris Olivares, and now she is back. She wants more.
2 minutes and 4 seconds. That's all the action that we've seen here inside La Jaula. That's all she needed to defeat her opponent, who had a very strong background in stand-up. However, we see this young lady again in a very short time, ready for action, didn't take any damage. She's ready to go.
Just 25 years of age. Now for her opponent. Let's go back to Lupe.
Su rival, Elizabeth Mogoyan.
Mogoyan was a chiropractor, and she would do some work on fighters. And they would invite her to watch fights. She would go to a live event, and she was motivated to start training. And she's gotten here under the tutelage of Bone Breakers, where the Martinez siblings train, including bantamweight champion David. Bone Breakers put her forth as a real high prospect. She just hasn't caught a break inside La Jaula.
Well, this could be it. This could be it. I know that she talked to her. She said, stop working for a bit. I've focused all my time on fighting. I'm in the gym 3 times a day, working on my skill. And she fell a little short in these past 2 fights. So we're split decision, loss, defeats. So there was something. There was some improvement. Now you just got to finish the fight. You got to let them go. You got to let them hands go.
We'll be in the strawweight division. The current top dog here is Caroline Gallardo. Both these fighters looking to make some headway as we look at the head-to-head cara a cara. 4-inch height advantage for Sanchez, 3-inch via the reach. Both make weight. Avila sneaking in on the 116 limit. To Lupe Contreras for the final time.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. 3 vueltas, división peso paja. We continue with much more action. 3 rounds in the strawweight division. Los jueces, the judges, Mark Streisand, Dorian Mirasola y James Lázaro. Presentando la esquina azul, presenting the blue corner, vestida de rojo, wearing red, su peso oficial, 115 libras y media, her official weight, 115 1/2 pounds. Regresa a la jaula por segunda vez, con récord de 1 victoria. She returns to la jaula for the second time as a pro with a record of 1 victory. Fighting out of Ferndale, Washington, Diana Sanchez. Su oposición en la esquina roja, vestida de blanco. Her opposition in the red corner, wearing white. Su peso oficial, 116 libras. Her official weight, 116 pounds. Esta noche, entra a la jaula por 5ª vez a nivel profesional. Tonight, she enters la jaula for the 5th time as a pro. De la Ciudad de México, Elizabeth Mogoyan. El referee, Larry Folsom.
Larry Folsom, the 3rd inside the jaula.
There were windows in the locker room. Do you have any questions? Any questions from you? If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's come out and fight. Judge.
Larry Folsom taking the gimmick out of Alan Aviles' playbook.
Ready? You ready? Let's go.
Caring is sharing as we're underway. Mogollán in red. Warning, some words from her corner, take your time. And she heeds it immediately.
Right from the start, Max. You'll see that Mogollán does have that good boxing, but she needs to just be very confident in it. Throw the hands. She has good wrestling. Diana, very patient. She faced a similar opponent last week where she would throw in a lot of that stand-up game. And she found the opportunity to take it to the floor, and she was able to submit her opponent very quickly.
Mogollán, who describes herself hybrid style, improved striking, ready for the floor as well. I prepare with sports psychology and want to be mentally prepared. Takes the center of the jaula. Very cool and collected is Sanchez. Just sits there, everything kind of slows down for her. Very fluid.
And you know, if you look back at some of her previous fights as an amateur fighter, she went through some grueling fights, bloody fights, and she stayed in all 3 rounds. Of course, in the amateurs, you're not fighting 5 minutes a round, you're talking about 3 minutes a piece. But either way, she is tough as nails. Now, Mogollán taking this fight to the ground could be very interesting because Sanchez does have a solid background in jiu-jitsu, but Mogollán has very effective wrestling. So she's able to transition, she'll be able to scramble around a lot. Should be very interesting if it goes to the floor.
Getting underneath the chin is Sanchez. Still no panic from her. Mogollán trying to get her airborne and on the ground here. That's the plan. And a chop on the back of the knee.
And Mogollán, the stronger of the two. So she's putting all that weight, pinning her to the jaula. And then she tosses her to the floor there.
Looking for back-to-back first round finishes here, Sanchez. Mogollán trying to get in a good position, but can't show too much of that neck.
Yeah, she can't. She doesn't have any power from this position, using the hip or nothing. But it's a good way of keeping that arm there because when the opportunity comes, that she could take advantage of it.
Still cranky. She's trying to get up. Maybe get up on the back there of Mogollán and put her body weight on her.
That's what she needs. That's why she's not letting go of that.
She feels like she has something.
But because Mogollán has those hands wrapped around, it makes it very, very difficult for her. She's not able to grab that arm underneath her chin, but now she's out of it.
Yeah, in a moment where she paused, Mogollán sensed it and now takes her to the ground, but still got that arm active position here, Sanchez.
Keep her head down. Keep her head down. Get your knee through.
Yeah, Sanchez just searching, composed, very calm.
Active coach.
She's trying to get her back. That's what she's trying to do.
Now into the guard of Sanchez. Mogollán working really hard to get some sort of favorable position, and she might have something finally.
And Mogollán should land some shots. I mean, the chances are there. Some shots to the ribs, some fists, maybe some elbows. But she needs to pop her head up.
Amazed with the poker face from Diana Sanchez.
Yeah.
Just sits there like she's got everything under control, even though she doesn't right now.
Right there, Mogollán should take advantage. She pins her down, takes some shots. I know that Sanchez is holding on to that arm, take it out.
Larry Folsom looking to make sure the feet don't get into the cage of Sanchez to get an advantage. Now they can get some shots. Very few, but something. Little headlock.
If she gets touched, she's able to land the knee. But she brought it down to the ground.
She sensed it. Mogollán drags her back down. Sanchez not quitting, though. Still trying to do some mountaineering, and now gets the back of Mogollán.
Uh-oh, now she could get a half Nelson in her rear.
She did it. It happened so quickly.
Mogollán has that chin. Does he have that? No,
she's out.
She brought it out. Yeah, she had the chin down.
Reset. Excellent from Sanchez.
The tables have turned, Max.
45 seconds.
Diana very composed, very calm. Just waiting for that chance that Mogollán makes a mistake.
Fourth fight for Mogollán with Combate. She fought in August of this year, fought twice in 2021. All were defeats, but all went decision. One via split to Tamika Jones. Now on the back, 20 seconds to perhaps finish the rear naked.
This good stuff, how
Diana, there's a squeeze, baby, right at the death, 10 seconds. Mogollán staying active, trying to punch her way out of it. She'll survive this opening round. Very interesting first round as Sanchez starts to...
She's ready to go. She's like, forget the break, let's go.
Sometimes just some mind games for your opponent, but you could tell she's very... Again, fought 2 weeks
cool
ago.
as a cucumber.
She's brought her cardio from that last fight into this, you can tell. And that's the benefit. There's a reason you don't fight that soon. This is very rare, but there are some benefits. And look at her, she's got animated all of a sudden.
She only got 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and she didn't really take much of an impact at all. You know, it was a quick setup to take it to the floor, and she submitted her opponent very fast. So it's...
See David Martinez in the corner of Mogollán. Back here for the second round, and while you were away, Sanchez has been there shadow boxing, popping around with her feet. Mogollán getting, as she trips in towards Sanchez, lost her footing.
Oh, yeah.
Mogollán was getting some coaching from bantamweight champion David Martinez, and now Sanchez was gifted an opportunity, and she has taken that gift.
Sanchez didn't even allow Mogollán to throw a shot. Just took advantage and take the fight to the ground, where she felt very comfortable at the ending of that first round. Good stuff here. She's trying to wrap those legs around, getting a body lock.
Well, now Sanchez is dictating terms.
The back.
Gets the back, stretches out Mogollán.
Now she does have, she nearly had the body lock.
Wrist control.
Yeah, she does. Oh.
This is Mexico versus USA again, which is the prime matchup. Getting into the mount, actually.
There we get the guard.
Split here in that opening round. Although Sanchez gets 2 out of the 3 judges. Into the guard of Sanchez.
You heard Mogollán's corner? They said it. They're telling her the score. And then we talk about all the time if some of the corners release the information to their fighters. And that could be a motivation.
Would you were in there, would you want to know the scores?
Of course. Why not?
Well, you don't say of course because a lot of these fighters clearly don't get them.
For me, yes, absolutely. Because that's...
I would too.
I mean...
I'm not setting foot in the house, I'll say that, but I would.
But as a coach, that's going to be motivation. How often do you see fighters or corners sometimes that you're losing this fight without knowing? Right?
I would look.
So now you have the facts, you have the numbers.
Information is king.
Right.
The information age, it applies now to Combate Global, as this is very good for Mogollán. She's stayed active, she's banging away. Aided with that information that was relayed to her moments ago.
By a fighter, if you really want it, if you're really hungry, and your coach tells you, hey, you're losing this fight, you're down 2 rounds. If you really want this, you're going to find it in you to try to finish that fight. I mean, we just saw earlier on the coach for Santana saying, hey, don't worry about your leg, let's keep going. I mean, that's an injury. So, of course, there's 2 different things, but they're motivation, you know, and here you are using the scorecards saying, hey, you're winning, you're losing. And even if you're winning, you don't want to tell your fighter too much because then they feel comfortable. So you got to remind her, you're winning, but don't fall asleep on this.
And now that she got that information, she can try. There's an armbar attempt here from Sanchez.
She's been just very calm, patient, waiting for it. Ellie needs to pop those hips.
She's trying to get that around the front of the body, and she's got her
she
squeezed
needs to get
now.
off this position right here. Well, the fact that she's in the howl, that's going to make it quite hard.
How about that? That's the shot from the ref cam.
Yeah, what Sanchez is trying to do is pop those hips up. That's just she's trying to wrap those legs around, and she could grab onto the arm and fully extend. But right now there's in a very weird position here.
This would be really hard luck for Mogollán. Yeah. She was dominating this round, and now she's in a real dilemma.
Well, it's that lock that Sanchez has. She has it very tight. So what Mogollán needs to do is land in the shots to distract her, but she needs to be careful at the same time. She doesn't want to leave those arms loose.
Larry Folsom's getting a nice close look, so he senses that Sanchez has something working. He's got that triangle right around the knee.
Now she's positioning, she's popping up those hips. She needs to do that.
Now, as we get under a minute in the second round, the question is, did Mogollon do enough to win this round, at least on 2 judges, which will put her in a great position for round 3.
But see how Sanchez grabs that head, squeezes in, and you'll see it, they're popping in those hips, cutting in that circulation, Max.
Listen to the sound. Oh, she's
and look at that arm right there.
Mogollon transitions to the back.
This is Mogollon needs to grab that arm and pull out. You need to pull that arm away. There it is.
Now she's on the high ground, in a side control, 20 seconds to go. Mogollon now putting some work in.
Now, if I was Mogollon, I'll try to take this fight to the feet.
She'll get a chance to do it in round 3, it would appear. We were terrestrial for the entire second round. The question is, who had the upper hand?
Hey, good way there of trying to finish out that ground and pound, and she needs to do that or take it back to the feet. But Mogollon needs to let the hands go. Let's take a look here at the second round replay. Some of the action that took place, and just Sanchez was searching for triangles, arm bars. She stood very cool, very calm, but good way of Mogollon defending here. And it was at this point that she had that really squeeze, but good way of Mogollon averting that arm bar, moving the other way, and pulling it out at the right time.
Look at that. Look at that, let's go.
Back here in round 3, once again, Diana Sanchez not taking the stool. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Mogollon looking like a racer head. Her hair from under all that ground game just shot right up. She goes for the takedown.
Mogollon goes for the takedown. That's... again, if you have to then really now depend on your wrestling, know how to carry your weight, know how to use it, because Sanchez is very good on the ground. She's looking for those loose arms. Anything that's possible out there.
Now we wait for the scorecard, which would be very telling.
From here, Max, Mogollon could put those hips there and land shots. But Sanchez is so good at seeing any opportunities, any loose arms, loose hands that she could grab onto.
Banging away, Mogollon making sure that those wrists don't get held and that arm does not get extended. Although Sanchez very resourceful, trying to get a hold one last time.
Yeah, Mogollon could just keep pulling Sanchez toward La Jaula and put that knee where she can land some shots. Pin her.
Settles in between that guard. Sanchez running out of ideas. Mogollon has been relentless on top in this ground game. Gets onto her feet for a rare opportunity. Takes a knee again.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's great stuff from Sanchez.
Another triangle here.
And controlling herself, very calm.
Mogollon just digging in further and further.
Right there. That's where the chance for Mogollon could take advantage, where she could take those shots.
Oh my goodness. Ooh. The judge is seeing it completely differently, which is great news for Diana Sanchez. Mogollon has to finish this fight by all intents and purposes.
Open your elbows wide.
This is it. This is her only shot right here. 3 minutes to go.
You're fine, you're fine.
Mogollon with a guillotine attempt.
You're okay. Use your right elbow. Lift your right
and
elbow.
you see the or you hear the corner.
Tons of coaching from the Sanchez
lots of stuff.
corner.
Yeah, great corner, man.
Okay. You're not even getting choked.
But very concise, specific,
and calm.
Yeah, calm. There was a little moment there in the second round where the voice went to a higher cadence.
Well, let's see here. The tables have turned. Now it's Sanchez who has the guard. Usually, most of the time we've been seeing Sanchez on the floor, which he's had some success traveling in the arm.
Hey, you got to pass, kiddo. You need to pass right now. You need to pass right now. Put your knee in the middle there. Put your knee
Now
in the middle.
Mogoyan trying to
guard,
yeah. She needs to pass that guard.
I need more work. I need more work. It's getting close.
She needs to be active. And now Mogoyan over here, her pair of potential triangle chokes.
Keep passing. Keep passing. Step into it.
Mogoyan hanging on. She does get past, but it gets out of the guard and into a different opportunity for a submission. Well, they're tired now. Mogoyan does toss her up.
There's a shot that she needs to land shots right here from that opportunity. That shot right here. But look at Diana.
Sanchez comes over the top.
Sanchez.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Look at that arm, that left arm.
It's pinned in there. It's pinned in there. Maybe a Kimura.
That could be very dangerous for Mogoyan.
Mogoyan turns
Look at
the tide.
Yeah, she's turning.
It's catches can. Who's got what? I'm not sure. It's a jumbled mess underneath there. But they're both working hard to finish this fight.
That's a scrambling. Good positioning from Mogoyan. But something has to get done here.
You're ready to cut back. Pass that leg.
Sits down with perhaps a
Something.
guillotine. There's nothing there, but does have to crank away on that arm.
Something needs to get done.
We're gonna have to give you a pass right now.
There, Mogoyan working that right arm. It's out there. She could extend there.
Pass the guard.
Get your head free.
Gets the head out of there.
Oh, now she's giving the back. Now she's in trouble.
Diana, good.
Under a minute to go in this final round.
Keep hitting, keep hitting. Give me some elbows.
Mogoyan turning it around. And that's it. This could be it. She needs to land those shots from this position.
30 seconds for the career of Mogoyan. She really needs this. Right. Can't imagine she comes back without
I mean, this has to be a do or die.
Yeah, this is it. This is really it for her career, at least on this stage.
Now watch out. She lands any headbutts there. Oh.
Those are headbutts.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that's
desperate.
Well,
desperate
it was not necessarily a head, but she didn't use it. But I can see why the coach said headbutts.
Right into the ribs.
But let's take a look. We could put the replay back. There it is. Yeah, no, see, that was not a headbutt whatsoever. And now I could see why the corner said it, because from that position it looked like it, but no, absolutely not.
I don't know if Larry Folsom was convinced either, but he stopped the fight.
No, but she. No, it was not a headbutt. We clearly saw it in that replay. At all. At all.
There's a discussion going between the corners, but Larry Folsom.
Like to see, oh, there we go. Great stuff for putting in there. Look at that. What, you know, it's so hard to determine because of the hair. But those other two shots, they were clearly I didn't see any headbutt. Did you see any? I didn't see anything at all. That first one, it's hard to read because the hair is in the way. But that second and third, those are clear shoulder shots.
Well, her emotions are being tested here. She's been, you can see in her eyes.
I think, if we go one more time, this is a great shot there. Yeah, nothing. Straight to, it was to the forearms.
Question is, Larry Folsom stopped the fight.
And he was right there.
So if you stop the fight, then you're saying to us that you believe it was a headbutt. Maybe Mogoyan's intentions were not good, but it did hit the arms that were crossed over.
I guess they're going to give it to Mogoyan as if they're clapping. Take a look at it one more time. Clearly no headbutt here, no whatsoever. Again, I can see why the corner said headbutt. I can maybe even see what Larry said headbutt because of the hair that's in the way.
But did they stop the fight?
That's yes.
This is
yeah, because I heard the coach or the corner of Mogoyan shout as if they won.
She shouted. Well, we've never seen this before.
And now I did see Sanchez grabbing onto something, but she looks fine.
Well, Folsom is discussing with the folks from the Athletic Commission.
From our crew for putting in those replays. Really appreciate that. Look at that. No headbutt whatsoever.
All I can say is that Sanchez may not have been able to continue. Did she?
See, that's what she, I don't know if she's grabbing onto her abdomen area. I mean, she seems fine there.
Mogollon is under the impression she won. This fight's been stopped.
Let's see it.
Lupe Contreras is inside the jaula. This fight's over.
Yeah, if he's in there, you know that's it.
And Mogollon, apparently the winner. Another
remarkable.
Look at that. Look.
Yeah.
She's like, I somehow pulled this one out of the bag. And I can only imagine Sanchez submitted.
It's just even the judges are.
I mean, everyone's just
everyone's
stopped.
yeah, they're puzzled.
Well, no one had a better look at it than Larry Folsom. We'll hear the decision and we'll get to the bottom of this. Let's go to Lupe Contreras. With bated breath, we wait to hear exactly what happened.
El referee Larry Folsom detiene el combate con un tiempo oficial de 4 minutos 46 segundos del tercero y último asalto. Referee Larry Folsom stops this contest with an official time of 4 minutes 46 seconds of the third and final round, declaring the winner by way of technical knockout, declarando a la ganadora por knockout técnico de México, Elizabeth Mogollon.
Technical knockout. So Sanchez stopped fighting, was out. So we got a victory with 13 seconds to go and a victory with 14 seconds to go. Unbelievable night. Diana Sanchez said she could not continue the fight, hence the TKO.
And congratulations to Mogollon.
I mean,
she won.
14 seconds away from really
losing
and not coming back.
Right.
You don't 4 losses. You don't come back to that. So
she closed her eye and threw the ball and see what happens.
That was the old Hail Mary. And that was up we certainly gave you something to talk about, from the incredible finish by Shaheen Santana to Elizabeth Mogollon to the laying the marker down performance by Ramon Vizcarra. Fantastic stuff inside the jaula, as you have grown to expect. We also want to thank Rodolfo Roman for doing all the voice tracking for her in the jaula, all those monster sounds he tracked earlier. So thank you for that, Rodo. It's
Bio
gonna be
on
good.
the side, right?
Cracking versus Azizoun. First chance to look at the Frenchman. Unbelievable stuff. We're out of time. We'll be back next Sunday, October the 30th, on behalf of our entire production crew, headed by Arte Izquierdo, Pablo Morales, Rodolfo Roman alongside me. This is Max Bredos saying so long from inside the jaula, and until next Sunday, Placido Domingo!